As you may recall, last episode, we left off with Piri being sucked under the water into the icy black depths of the sea after witnessing her good friend Guppy, the lanky little half-elf, get swept away by some unseen force down the beach. Piri, you are coming to on a beach. Your eyes are flickering open. The cold water is lapping at your legs. It's dark-ish. There's no sun. It's very overcast. You come to, there's black sand on this beach. And you find yourself on a small island. Go ahead and give me a perception check, if you'd be so kind.
All right. Though first, the moment I wake up, I'm gonna make like a quick scream, like like shutting myself up, and I close my mouth because I don't scream. And I will make my perception check.
Okay.
11.
11. Okay. Well, lucky for you, this would be difficult to miss. In the distance on the small island you find yourself on, you see that there is a flickering of light a little bit inland, and inland being not far at all. You can see most of the perimeter of this island from where you are. This is like your cliche small island in the middle of the ocean with like a few trees, some jagged rocks, and a beach. So what do you do?
Scramble away from the water that's touching me first.
Scramble away from the water.
Take a moment to look around. Well, son of a no swearing. Then I am going to head towards the light, I guess. Cool. Anywhere is better than the
anywhere is better than the ocean. You begin heading inland, and it doesn't take long. It's like 2 minutes of walking before you start walking into like a little bit of brush, and you can see the dim light in the distance is coming from, it looks like a flickering lantern that is sort of like hanging from a stake that's been hammered into a tree. And you can see by this lantern, there's sort of like a cobbled together little shack, and some other like miscellaneous things that would suggest someone is here. And as you're looking around, you first see this shack. You sort of pan your vision over, and beneath this lantern, you see a figure hunched over, sitting at like a little makeshift table. Back to you, of course. They do not see you.
Of course. Well, there's no sneaking. And I'm getting frustrated, so I'm gonna just shout out, Guppy!
You don't hear anything from Guppy, but you do see the figure sort of tense their back, sort of look left, look right. They don't turn to face you. They shake their head and go back to focusing on whatever they're doing at the table.
Ignoring me? Hey! Where's Guppy?
The figure again straightens their back, takes a hat off their head, like a little tricorn hat, puts it back on, turns around, and sees you. Hello, B. You there? You don't happen to be another spirit from the sea come to torment me, I suppose?
Do I look like one? I interrupt him.
You very well could be. Come into the light where I can see you better.
I'm going to step forward.
You step forward. As you get a little
Making
bit
my
closer,
presence known.
your presence is most definitely known. You get closer and you see this figure, is now revealed to be. It's sort of like this older captain with like a peppery gray and black, like scruffy beard that's like unkempt, with shaggy hair that's about down to his shoulders. This guy looks like he's in about his 50s, probably. It's a human. He's wearing like ratty overcoat, like a sailor's uniform almost. And he goes, "How'd you get to this island?"
I fell in some damn water. How did you get here?
"My crew marooned me on this island after a mutiny."
You probably weren't very nice then.
Yes, well, I can't say that the captains I'd served under before becoming a captain myself was ever a very nice person. "Come over and sit with me." He goes back
I'm
to
gonna
the
walk
table.
over.
You see, at the table he was sitting at, there's like a chessboard set up here, like a dragon chess set. And clearly there's no one he's playing with. There's an empty stool across from him, and there's like a little bright blue crab on the table that has like a little dead fish that's like rotting, that it's like sort of picking at on the table. He goes, "Pinchy, off the table," and he like scoots the crab and knocks it off the table. Sit.
I'm gonna cringe and sit.
You sit. Give me an insight roll real quick for me.
All right. 14.
14. You can tell that this person was playing chess with this crab.
Yep.
Cool. He stretches, sits back down, sort of like strokes his beard as he's looking at the chess set, and he realizes that he's just knocked his opponent off the table. "So, you fell in the water and now you're here. Well, looks like you're...
I'm looking for my friend.
Describe your friend to me."
He's shorter than me, sandy blonde hair, amazing, and probably gonna die, but he's a sailor. He fishes. Half elf.
Well, half-elf? Yes, I actually have seen a half-elf. That
I stand up
that.
like immediately. Where?
Well, he was here, what was it, a day or two before you showed up. We spent some time together talking, talked about the sea, played some chess, and during one of our games I turned around and turned back and he was gone. Haven't seen him since. Must have slipped away. I can't imagine where he's gone though. It's not a very big island. Nowhere to hide, really.
He doesn't slip away.
Well, sorry, but that's about as much information I have on that. I saw him and then he was gone.
I'm gonna slam my fist down on the table.
Well, that's rather rude of you. I was playing chess, and you have just reduced that to shambles.
Says the guy who's playing with a crab.
There's not much company around here to play chess with, girl.
You have a fair point, but I don't care. I'm gonna stand, and I'm just like looking around as I'm already standing up.
Yeah,
in every direction.
You look around in every direction. As your initial sort of perception had surmised, it's a pretty small island you're on. There's like a few, like like you've seen palm trees. These palm trees are a little different. It's like the wood of the palm tree is like this black stalk that sprouts from this black sand that is most of the ground. And the palm fronds are actually like a stark white. And there's like these dark green coconuts in some of these palm trees. Aside from that, you see the beach, you see the water. Aside from this little shack where this guy is, you don't really see any sign of life.
And there's also his shack, right?
Yeah, there's a shack here.
How well is his shack made? Because I have my carpentry expertise. I should know a little bit about this.
It looks about as well, like shack is a loose term I'm using. It's about as well as someone who's been on an island for a little while but isn't super handy would put together with the small amount of refuse it looks like he was left with, and any sort of like palm frond and like wood he's broken up and cobbled together. It's sort of like a lean-to, pretty much. There's not much to it.
Well, that's not worth my time. I am going to start kind of just meandering around the island, looking at, I guess, really just nothing other than the sand and the trees. And it's just a small island.
It's a small island, yeah. It's surrounded by water on all sides, and as you look out, as I mentioned before, it's dark out. There isn't a moon in the sky. There aren't clouds either. It's kind of just dark above you, and the sea that laps the shore is just a cold depth. Just everything's dark and cold.
I hate that. I'm going to walk back and forth for a little bit, and then walk near a palm tree and punch it.
Give me a athletics check or an attack roll, either one.
Athletics?
Yeah.
I'll make an athletics check.
All right.
19.
For sure. Two of those bright green coconuts fall down from the tree and plop in the sand at your feet.
Heck! Heck! And then I'm gonna start stomping on a coconut.
You start stomping on this coconut, and as you break it open, you sort of like step back and pull your foot away, and the inside of this coconut is like a deep maroon color, and the liquid inside isn't like coconut water or coconut milk. It's like this blood colored liquid, as you pull your foot out of the squished remains of this coconut.
Ew.
It seems
What
to
do you
like
eat? I'm gonna yell at the guy.
He shouts back, I eat the fish from the sea, should they ever wash ashore, carcasses, and coconuts from the trees, as sickly as they are. And he rummages underneath his little lean-to and pulls out a bottle of rum. And rum.
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 Right.
But you come play a game. It's not like we have anything else to do. Gonna be here for, I imagine, till we die or rescue arrives.
Maybe you, but I don't die that way. And then I'm gonna start like just looking around the island, investigating anything that could help me get off, while always never looking at the ocean because I hate that.
Sure. Give me an investigation check because you're looking for something specific here.
Bada boom! We got a 5.
Got a 5. You're on an island. There's a beach. There's sand. There's trees with weird coconuts and a strange old captain who's been marooned on this island with you.
And yeah, there's just nothing.
There's nothing except another person. Weird coconuts.
You eat the coconuts?
I?
Ew.
Not much else to choose from.
as much as it disturbs me, I'm gonna walk a little closer to the shore and then look outwards, just see if there's anything.
You look outwards. This expanse of water goes on forever, it seems like. It seems like far enough out, like a few miles away, it almost seems like there's like a layer of mist sort of on the water. Give me another perception check while you're looking out at the sea.
13.
13. You can see towards the horizon and the surroundings, and it's pretty much ocean as far as you can see, except for to the west, the horizon's a bit darker. It's like you can, where you'd be able to see sort of out into the expanse of ocean to the north, the south, and the east. To the west, it's like it's just sort of, as you know, it's night-ish, but it's sort of like a, you know, as you'd see with like a quarter moon or a half moon or whatever, but like it's just black to the west, like far, far out. But it's just like there's not even clouds in the sky you can see. It's just black.
Okay. Well, swimming definitely isn't an option for me. I'm turning away from the ocean now. Maybe my thought process is if I play chess with this guy, the douche nozzles who took Guppy will get me. So I'm going to just walk up to the guy kind of pissed. Like, I will play a couple games with you.
Oh, that's great. I've been quite bored and I was tired of playing with Pinchy. He's not very bright when it comes to dragon chess. What would you like to play? I've got dragon chess and I've got dice.
I'll play dice.
All right. How many d6 do you have, Winter?
I have on me right now. I can get more, but I right now have 2 with me.
Okay. Can you get 5?
I can.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna actually grab my dice because somehow for this D&D stream I forgot to pick them up and put them on my desk. And I'm back like the Flash. Okay. Let me know when you got those dice. And I'll tell you how this is gonna work.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright. I'll tell you how this is gonna work. Do you know how to play Captain's Dice?
No.
You can give me an intelligence check, just like a history check or intelligence check to see if you do. I mean,
Okay.
Spend time in port
I'll do
times.
it, yeah. 17.
Yeah, you know how to play. It's played with 5 dice. You'd roll them, and you can choose to, like, so essentially what you're trying to do is get the highest possible number. So you're going to roll 5 dice. Once you have the first roll done, you can select any amount of dice you want to re-roll, but you got to keep the new number from that re-roll. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's play, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. He does his first roll. You can see the first total he got was 20 altogether. He rolled 2 2s, so he's gonna re-roll those. And that brings him up to 22 total.
I automatically rolled a 24.
Very nice. Well, it looks like luck is on your side. What say you we have another bout? Best of 3.
Okay.
All right then. Alright, he rolled a 14. He's gonna re-roll 4 of his dice. He got a 17 total.
17. Alright, I rolled a 13. I'm gonna roll 3 of my dice. No. Sorry, 2. I got a 16.
16. Alright, looks like Lady Luck has come back on over to my side of the table. One more to finish it off,
Yeah,
shall we?
lucky. Sure.
The irony of insinuating that luck is anywhere on this island is not lost on you.
Yeah.
He rolled rather poorly. He's re-rolling 4 of his dice. 19.
I got a 20 off the
Nice.
bat.
Alright. Looks like the win is yours. Would you care for a bottle of rum?
I'm gonna look around to see if the ghosts or whatever have taken me.
No ghosts have taken you, but give me another perception check.
Okay. Ooh, 18.
18.
I have a minus.
Oh no, what? Minus what?
I have a -1 to perception.
Wow. Yeah, you look around and everything seems the same as it was until you cast your gaze to the west. You see that darkness that looked like it was enshrouding the horizon now is encapsulating much more of the visual off to the west. It seems a lot closer, like it just seems to be like a wall of just darkness that seems like it's only a few miles off away now.
Okay, well, I'll take that as a good sign. Yeah, I'll take the rum.
Alright, well, he rummages through, grabs this dusty, half-drank bottle of rum, brushes some sand off it, hands it to you. Drink up. Not much else to do here.
Yeah. How
Sorry. Go ahead.
how cold is it?
It's probably in like the mid 50s in Fahrenheit. It's like chilly.
Okay. Is there any like small piles of wood?
Yeah, for sure.
Can I use the cantrip produce flame? Like just hold a flame in my hand and then try and light the small piece of wood on fire?
Sure. You produce flame, light a little piece of wood on fire in your hand. You see he looks surprised, goes, is you one of them, far-off wizard magicians then, from the far shores?
Ew, no, I'm not smart.
Oh, neither am I, but I can't make fire
human.
pee in my hands.
Yeah, because you're a human.
And you aren't, lass.
You know what a genie is?
Never heard of it.
Then you would not know what I am.
Whatever. So tell me about this friend of yours you're looking for.
Well, not much to tell other than he's a fisherman. Pretty boring. Everyone likes him. He's nice.
What sounds about
And he
right.
doesn't flip away because he's as clumsy as a fish.
I can attest to that last bit. He was not very good at dragon chase, but he seemed like a right good fella.
He's got a good heart.
I believe you. It's a shame he just disappeared, though.
Yeah,
so,
I'm planning to stab him. Okay.
whoever took him, eh? Well, I'll tell you what. There's not a lot of room in my shack. And he points over to just like pretty much just leaves leaning against a palm tree. But I'll help you put together a shack of your own, and guess you'll be waiting for rescue with me.
As much as that sounds lovely, I have other plans.
Cool. You say that. What is Kiri doing right now?
Sitting in front of this fire and taking a swig of rum.
Cool. You look at this fire and you take a swig of rum, just looking at it. This captain that was there with you, like, is mumbling to himself, and then the mumbling goes quiet, and you feel like someone has, like, the feeling of like a tracing on your right hand, like if someone was taking like the tip of a quill and just tracing something on your right hand on the inside of it.
I'm gonna look at my right hand.
You lift up your right hand and you see in your palm there is a circle in black ink, and through the circle is an X.
What the? I'm gonna try and wipe it off.
You try and wipe it off. It doesn't come off. Give me another perception check. At advantage.
Ooh, advantage.
Avantage?
A good thing I have advantage. 18.
18. You look up from the fire as you notice this weird drawing on your hand, and you don't see this captain anywhere. And it's like he mentioned earlier, there's nowhere to hide on this island. He's gone. You don't see him anywhere.
I'm gonna yell out, "Oh, come on, you take him!"
The second thing you notice is you look west again, and that darkness that you saw is a lot closer now. And now you see it for what it is. It's not just dark. That's a wave. That's the mother of all waves. A rogue wave to topple mountains. It literally scrapes the sky and stretches across the horizon. It seems to be mere minutes from making landfall on this island.
Yeah, Perry isn't gonna be able to hold in any swears and just goes, "Oh shit."
You see this certain death approaching the island. There's no way you could survive this. And in your right hand, where that drawing was, you feel something physical that's not there. It feels like you're holding on to something like a rope that like is taut, that could be pulled, but there's nothing in your hand.
I'll try and pull it while just distract myself from this wave that's coming.
You pull it. Blackness. Everything goes dark. And now we're gonna cut over to someone else.
Oh.
Alrighty. Oh, let us see here. Electra. Hello. So, we're left off with Electra being consumed by a pool of darkness in her home that would have been had she never been taken in by a literal god. You were kneeling on the floor, and all of a sudden, that coldness is gone. It's still dark, but you're not freezing anymore. Then just as soon as you realize that icy chill that was suffocating your body is gone, you blink open your eyes and you're back in this house. Except it's daytime. There's light coming in through the windows, and you see two figures standing at the back of, away from the front entrance of this house, back by a hearth, in like traditional garb of Nusel team, and you see someone standing in the doorway, that you recognize. It would be your sort of pseudo mother. Ashni is standing in the door. And you see she's speaking to the two figures that are like huddled back against the wall. You see they're holding something in their arms. It looks like a small child wrapped in swaddling cloth. You look to these two figures and their faces are sort of like obscured by, it looks like the sort of haze you'd see looking out into the desert, like sort of like a miasma of like light and just, blur. And when they speak, it just sounds like vibrations on the air. The same thing comes from Ashni, but you can see Ashni clearly. What is Electra doing?
Oh, okay. So first, when she realizes like the cold's gone, she's gonna like open one eye and like look both ways, and then like start to relax and be like, "Oh, what is going on? Oh, Ashni, hey."
You call over to Ashni.
Hi.
She doesn't even look in your direction. She's seems to be conversing with these two people, and then she takes a few steps into the building and extends one arm out to the two people huddled against the back wall.
God, Ashley knows what's going on, but Electra doesn't know what's going on. Okay. Then at this point, when she like sees Ashni, does Ashni look exactly the same as how Electra recognizes her?
Yeah.
Or does she
looks
look
exactly? I mean, Devas don't really age, and if they did, it would be over like millennia. So it's not like over the time Electra would have grown up that Ashni would look different. Yeah. So yeah, she looks just like she's wearing different clothes.
Like she's still wearing. Oh.
It's just like a different outfit. I mean, it's not like clothes you haven't seen her wear before, like anything crazy. Right. It's just she's wearing like a different outfit than the last time you saw her.
Okay. She'll like slowly get up to her feet. And the first thing, she's going to look up the stairs. Is there anybody on the stairs?
Nope.
No. So that's where they chased her down. She's gonna be like, Ashni, hi. And she's gonna like walk up to Ashni and probably try to like put her hand on the shoulder or something.
You walk up to where Ashni is as she had extended her arm out to the two people huddled in the corner. And as she takes a few steps forward and you try to put your hand out through her, goes through her like passing your hand through smoke. She takes a few steps forward, extends both arms out, and you see the male figure look like he reluctantly takes this small child they're holding and hands it to Ashni. The female-looking figure, besides the man whose neither of their faces you can still see, looks distraught. Ashni turns and begins heading back out the way she came in. Give me a perception check.
Whoa. Oh, that can't be good. 11?
11. As Ashni turns to go, Electra turns her head to look, and as she's sort of passing between the front door and the back of the room where these two figures are, you briefly pass your gaze by the window, and you swear you saw like a cobra slithering back from the window, disappearing out of view. And just as it happens, all the torches, candles, everything goes out. The daylight outside disappears. Everything's dark again. And as everything's dark again, you feel a grip on both of your shoulders, sort of shaking you. And you blink open your eyes, and Ashni is standing before you. Electra, what's with the nerves? Come on, your father is waiting.
What?
What? Do you look around? It looks like you're in sort of like the one of the tunnels that would lead onto the staging grounds of one of Honor's arenas.
Oh my god, this is so weird. Schnee, I think I've been having those visions again.
Actually, says the servants have said that you and your men brought back the it is the day of their execution in the arena. You are performing these yourself in front of Honor for all of the people to see.
Okay, there's been some kind of mix-up here. We don't do executions.
She holds her hand up. Electra, you have been wanting to participate in the arena for the longest time. Your father was very much looking forward to seeing this today. To cut down filth and evil in front of all our people to see, nothing would bring us greater pride. The people are
right.
You listen and you hear like cheering from the stands outside, waiting in anticipation.
Can I talk to my dad? First?
I do not think your father would be most inclined to speak. He's out there. You may call to him from the arena. He's sitting up in his stand, observing.
Yeah, okay. And she's gonna, like, stand up and, like, start walking down the tunnel and, like, try and, like, shake her head back and forth, like, how in the world what is going on right now? Like, starting to feel like she's going insane.
Yeah,
and then,
and you notice that, like,
the arena.
What you're wearing isn't, like, your traditional, like, equipment or whatever. You're, like, wearing, like, really ornate, ceremonial, like, plate, and, you know, you have your Shafra peregrine, at your hip, but this is, like, really resplendent, like, ceremonial plate armor you're wearing. And you step out, and the crowd erupts in cheers as they see Electra, Honor's daughter, step out into the Colosseum. And you step out, you look around, and you see high up into the stands, like way up there above, you see Honor is sitting with his arms crossed, watching. He gives like a wave to you. And you look out into the center of the arena, and you see there is a hooded figure with manacles on their hands, with chains attached to the floor.
Dad, just a quick question.
You shout up.
I'm having a bit of a moment.
You see, it's either he either didn't hear you, or he's just so enraptured by what's going on that he like speaks over you and actually goes, "Everybody, my daughter will be presiding over this grand display of justice today. Observe as this follower of Set faces death at the hands of the righteous, my dearest daughter, Electra." The shout erupts into cheers again.
Right. Yes. She's gonna like turn from her dad and like look at this hooded figure and be like, okay. And she's just gonna like slowly go up to the person, and she's gonna like walk up to them, and she's gonna look back at her dad and see what his facial expression is.
First thing you notice is as you get closer, this hooded figure looks up and you see a woman's face looking back up at you. It looks like a woman in her...
Oh, I thought it was like a hood over their thing.
No. Like they had like a...
It's like a
yeah,
cloak.
but they were like looking down. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
She looks up and you see like a aged woman in her 40s. She's got like wrinkles from sun exposure. And you see right away that her eyes are like the eyes of snakes and they have the slits for pupils. But another thing you notice is in her mouth, there's like a wooden bar that has been tied, like put in her mouth like a bit and then tied behind her head to keep her from speaking. And she looks up at you with like eyes that are just seething with hatred. And as for Honor, give me a perception check. He's pretty far away. It'll be difficult to discern his exact facial expressions.
Like, does he look like, I mean, it's only a 10, but I'm trying to see, like, if he's, like, nodding to go ahead or if he's, like, looking angry or, like, what the vibe is.
From how he sounded when he spoke, it sounds rather anticipatory and with a hint of pride. You get the feeling that this is sort of like the same sort of atmosphere someone would have when, like, they went out for a hunt and like took down a great beast and like brought it back, like, except instead of a trophy, it was live followers of Set that were brought back for their justice to be dispensed here in front of all these people in the Kelere in the stadium. Sort of like it seems like a display to sort of like remind people that like the evils of Set are still present, but look, we can cut them down right here in front of all of us to see.
Alright, she's gonna turn to this person and, like, under her breath, she'd be like, boy, a lot has happened when I was out. A lot of changes. And then she's gonna, like, go up to this person and, like, shudder a little bit, but look in their eyes and, like, just look in their eyes. You know when you just look in someone's eyes?
Mm-hmm.
She's what she's doing. She's looking.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Please. Help me. No! It's a 7.
It's a 7. She's looking at you. You're not sure if it's directed specifically at you or just the situation itself, but just seething hatred. You get the vibe that, like, if there was a knife in her hand and her hands were free, she'd be stabbing you in the neck right now.
I don't like this! This is so stressful! Okay. Alright. Well. Okay.
You hear from the stands, Honor's booming voice call down, "Daughter, there is no need to hesitate. Dispense justice and be done with it. I do not wish to see the scum of Set stain our realm any longer. What is with this hesitation I see you? This is
nothing! We're good.
Did I raise you to hesitate in the face of Set?
No, you absolutely not. You did not. I'm on it. Don't even worry. And on that, she's gonna flip around and cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. And that is a damage-doing spell?
Kill the person. Pardon?
That spell does damage, yes?
Yeah.
And it's a roll to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't need to roll to hit, but do roll the damage.
Okay. That's gonna be 17.
17. Damage?
And that is radiant damage, yes.
Yeah. How do you cast Guiding Bolt?
Okay, so she's gonna, like, she's like, yeah, no problem, got it, no worries. And then she kind of, like, is gonna, like, put her hands like this, and then just, like, unleash it in front of her. And it just goes out as this, like, very straight, bright white line that just, like, flies into this person's chest. And then as soon as she lets it go, she's just gonna be like, shaking and like, oh my god.
Let this light out, and this beam hits directly in the chest, and you see this figure lurch back, spine contorted, just writhing in brief pain, and you see light sears through her eyes as they are burned, and you can see light coming out from like behind this wood bit that's keeping her from speaking. And just as soon as this happens, she goes limp, hunches forward, her head hits the ground, and she is dead. The crowd erupts in like raucous cheering, and Honor stands up from his stand, disappears, reappears right next to you, puts his hand on the back of on your back, goes, "Well, daughter, I thought you would use the Shafla Parakrin in a more ceremonial sense, but that was quite a display of divine magic there. Now, why don't you step back and let your
Dad, I would only...
yes?
I would only use that if I really had to. I never want to spill a drop of blood with it.
I see. I appreciate you.
It's only for good.
And you have done good here. Now step back, it is
She
my
starts
turn."
smiling and stops shaking. It's like everything that just happened is behind her.
He
And she's like,
takes one of his hands and tussles your hair. He goes, "Step back, my child. It is my turn to participate in the spectacle." He raises his arms up, flexes, and the crowd cheers. A spear appears in two of his hands, and you hear clanking as gates open up at the other side of the arena, and you see figures begin shuffling out, all wearing the same hoods. It looks like about 15 people in total that begin fanning out in the arena, and you see Honor sort of like stretching, getting ready. He goes, "Now, daughter, this is what you should aspire to." And before you can even blink, he's lurched forward with like superhuman speed into the mix. You see all these hooded figures also have weapons. They've been given weapons and all like lurched towards him to try and fight Honor. There was no chance they'd even touch him. He's a demigod. These are just cultists. He begins cutting them down one by one with the spear, impaling one, flicking it off the spear to the side, impaling another, throwing his spear into one, picking up one. He picks up a cultist and they just tears him in half and tosses the pieces to the side. He punches another one, clocks him in the head, and just dusts him into the ground. And this like blood sport goes on for probably a minute before all 15 of these people just have been eviscerated. The crowd is just roaring with just fervent admiration and cheering. He wipes a little bit of blood off his brow and flicks it off to the side. "You see, daughter, in pursuit of good, there is much power to be found. You must never waver from the ideals of justice." And he takes a sit down on the ground, crosses his legs, goes, "Come, sit before me, daughter."
Yeah, okay. And she'll walk forward and then she'll kind of like cross her legs and sit in front, like mirroring him almost. But she has this, like, she has the same expression I have, just very like...
yeah.
Okay.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 23.
23. You look around for a brief moment. You look up from Honor. The stands are empty. There's nobody in this Coliseum. And it's nighttime again. It seems like you blinked and it was night, but it was just days, seconds ago. And Honor's eyes have like this very slight red glow to them. It doesn't seem like evil. It seems like he's just sort of like in like a state of adrenaline and like excitement. His eyes have like a passionate red glow to them. He goes, "So tell me, daughter, out of all our lessons, you have learned much. What have you learned from this lesson here today?"
I've learned that I don't know if to be honest, I'm not really sure what I learned, but I definitely learned something. That is for sure. Right. Now, I guess my concern, this is not like you, Dad.
You noticed something else
This
with that
isn't.
23 perception. You noticed one of the hooded figures, like a few feet behind Honor, just begins moving ever so slightly, like trying to like quietly get to their feet, and you see a dagger in their hand as they get into a crouch and they eye the back of Honor.
Oh my god, nope, not happening. I'm gonna flick out a Sacred Flame.
Cool. And that's targets of your choice, right? Not just like a blanket AoE.
Yeah, it's one person, and it's a dex save.
Oh, that's right. It's like, okay. Sure. What is your spell save DC?
It is 12.
Okay. They fail. You see this
good.
figure, Sacred Flame erupts from the ground and just in divine light torches this cultist as their robes like singe with fire and their charred body crumples to the ground. And you see Honor smiles. You know, I knew that one was not dead, but I appreciate you taking the initiative.
Dad, I don't know. You never leave people behind if they're alive. Like, you've never made a mistake like that. What's going
It was
on?
not a mistake. It was a lesson. Another, if you will. For you see, that one thought he had the upper hand, but what he did not consider is that justice never blinks. And as he says this, the darkness from the sky descends like a mist, and everything goes dark. We're going to cut over now to Alexandria. You had just, where we left you off, taken a few steps back into the mist, and they enveloped you. What is Alexandria thinking as she sort of stands in mist that, to the extent of her knowledge, was either something terrible or just outright like death, even touching it? You're alive. It doesn't seem like anything bad is happening, but
I think Alexandra is just like confused as like this, like, wait, I'm not dead. Wait, I don't think I want to be dead, but like all I know is I want to get away from here. Like, I want to get away. Like, I think that's like the biggest thing on her mind is she's just at this confused state.
Yeah. So you begin walking, I guess, through the mists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You begin walking. It still feels like grass underfoot. You walk for a few minutes, and then, like, as you're walking, your visibility is the same. Like, all you see is just this cool mist. And eventually, your footsteps resonate with the sound of stone, and you realize you're walking on a stone road, it feels like. And as you notice this, the mists sort of like part and pull back, and you step through, and you look around, and you're standing on a village street in Barovia, back in town. Give me a perception check.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that is 17 plus 3. That is a dirty 20 to
Dirty
start.
20. Very good. Great first roll of the session. You look around, and you've like walked down the street once before. Maybe it's in one of like the more residential areas of Barovia. You can hear heated arguing coming from inside a home that's like one or two houses down, and there's like candlelight flickering through the window, and you just hear like things getting smashed and like knocked over. And as you hear this, you see a figure stumbles out of the house and falls to the ground, and you see like this grimy older guy with like a gray like handlebar mustache almost, and like slicked back like balding hair, mutters to this person on the ground, "You'll get what I give you." And he tosses out like a few coins, it looks like, into the street to this figure who's like lying on the ground, and he closes the door.
Alexandra is just gonna like take a moment to be like, hey, where are my weapons? Like, you know, situate everything, make sure, you know, like the good little soldier trained whatever that she is, and is kind of gonna like creep forward hesitantly to this figure on the ground while keeping like one hand out and one hand kind of like hidden under her cloak towards a dagger, that in case like something goes bad, she has something.
You
so she's gonna
begin
move forward
approaching, and you see this figure who you can now see is a woman, picks herself up, dusts off herself, wipes a tear from her face, picks up coins off the street, and as you begin approaching her, you notice that the most striking thing about her is her bright red hair. And as you get a little bit closer, the winds pick up in like a gust, and mists blow through the street, and just as soon as they blow through, they're gone again, and you see the same woman, but you're on a different street. Her back is to you, and she appears to be walking up to a different house. She looks like she steals herself and then puts her hand on the door. What is Alexandria doing?
I think Alexandra is gonna call out and be like, hey, you!
No reaction.
Alexandra's gonna try to move closer as fast as she can to kind of like put her hand on this woman's shoulder.
You jog up and move closer, and before you can like physically get to her, she opens the door, and you can see inside that there's light coming inside. There's like a tiny little fire, and it illuminates her like youthful face, albeit like her eyes are still a bit puffy from looks like where she's been crying. She gives a weak smile as she looks in, and you see a little boy with bright red hair excitedly hop up from where he was sitting on the ground and goes, Mama, you're back! Come inside, I finished it. And she goes, what did you finish, my little Bruno? And he goes, I finished the secret thing I was working on. It was a top secret present for you. And she goes, Bruno, what top secret present are you working on, you silly boy? And he goes, well, you wouldn't know if it was top secret. He goes over, and there's like a single bed as you're like looking into this home. It's like a small like twin-size bed. And he goes over and reaches his hand on the pillow, and he pulls out a little stuffed doll. There's two stuffed dolls that look like they've been stitched together at the hands, like where there's two hands outstretched and like they're like two left hands are like connected together. He goes, look, I've finished this. It's for you, so you'll never forget that we are together forever. And she like immediately like bursts out into tears and like kneels down on the ground and like wraps her arms around him. And she is just like shedding like happy tears. He goes, so how was work today, Mama? And she goes, it was she looks out behind him. It was tiring, Bruno. It was a long day for Mother. He goes, okay, well, I already started the soup for dinner, so we can eat now. I hope you're hungry, because it's, carrot soup, just like yesterday. She goes, yes, little Bruno, carrot soup is my favorite, just like I've told you. That's why it doesn't matter that we have it every day. If you have your favorite food every day, it's never a bad day for soup. You see they sit down at like a little table. She ruffles his hair. And yeah, what's Alexandra doing?
Probably just like looking around, trying to figure out like what the heck is going on. And it's just very, very tense. And I think Alexandra's gonna kind of like call out again to be like you, or like, like child, or just like something, just genuinely to address like one of them.
Yeah, you call out child or something. And again, there's like the door is shut, so at this point you would have been like looking in through the window. A gust picks up again, and a chill mist blows through. And you look around, and you're again on another street in Barovia, and a light rain is coming down, a chill rain. And you see a woman with red hair, the same woman, quietly closes the door to a house, shudders in the rain, opens a small coin pouch, looks inside, looks up. Give me an insight or a perception check.
It's only a 9 plus
That's a 9.
3. I'll do insight. That's 12.
Okay.
9 plus 3, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing deception-y happening here. It's very clear to read. You look at the expression on this woman's face, and it is like a living corpse. Her eyes are just dead, glazed. Her face is just expressionless. She just breathes for a few beats, looks up with just no expression on her face, ties the coin pouch to her belt, and begins walking down the road. What does Alexandria do?
He's going to chase after this woman, calling out and just being like, hey, you, like, stop where you are. And I think Alexandra also, her hands through this, like, whole transition has, like, moved away from her dagger. And I imagine it moves towards, like, a coin pouch. Does she still have those silver coins that she had gotten
you wouldn't
the day before?
know if she had those coins today. It looks like she has her own personal little coin pouch, which she was like looking at whatever she potentially acquired from
No, I was talking about, does Alexandra have coins? Like, does she still have her silver coins?
100%.
Okay. I think Alexandria's hand has moved towards those coins, that 150 silver coins that she pocketed, and is trying to catch up with this woman, like determined to be like, what is going on? I need to help you.
Begin trying to approach this woman, and you pick up the pace. It seems like as much as you're trying to approach, the distance isn't closing, and as you progress down the street, and you hear like a crash and a thud of like a door smashing open, and you see another figure stumble out onto the street, clutching her neck, and you can see blood running through her fingers, and she falls prone in the street and is like struggling to get up, and she clambers to her feet, and like puts a hand up against the building she was had just run out from. And you see this other woman snaps out of this stupor she was in, and looks and sees this other, you can see it's a woman who's just someone on the street and was holding her neck. She snaps out of this stupor and sees this woman with a bloody neck, and she sort of like is paralyzed from it, like afraid. She's like, this isn't like the kind of person who would like jump to someone's aid, but she sees like another woman who looks like she needs help, and she sort of nervously steels herself and begins approaching this woman who has stumbled on the building and was holding on this building, who this other woman, the one with not red hair, who you can't really see because she has like a hood up, begins stumbling down, using buildings as support towards the woman with red hair. And the woman with red hair quite timidly says, "Excuse me, miss, are you..." And before she can even finish her sentence, the other woman lunges at her like a feral beast. Her hood flies back, and you see your own rabid face and your hair just in a mess pounce on top of this woman. And you see yourself just chomping down like a beast into this woman's neck, just tearing, and blood is just leaking out into the street. And you see, like, she's immediately dead. She couldn't even let out a scream. You remember this night because this was you and this happened, except you remember that when this was you and you did this, you had stumbled back after this in just shock and awe of what had just happened and fled. The you that is here pulls back her fangs from this woman's neck, who you see the woman with red hair's like pale face looking up from the ground as water just drips and like cascades down her face, and you just see a frozen look of like terror on the expression, just frozen on her face, and you can't tell if it's rain or just like tears that are like the last things that like drizzle down her face. The Alexandra you see yourself leans back, puts her head up, lets the rain drizzle down her, washing the blood off of her mouth, wipes the blood from her lip, looks up at you, makes direct eye contact, gives a little smirk. The winds kick up and the mists blow through the street again, like just a fog cloud rolls through. You're on another street in Barovia. You see at the far end of the street a young boy with a little like rucksack backpack on, who is like nervously looking around the street. He looks sort of distressed. Give me a perception check.
+16 +3. That is a 19.
Very nice.
I'm good on perception today.
Yeah. You see this little boy with a backpack and like bright red hair walking down the street holding onto his backpack with one hand, and in his other hand at his side you see the two dolls he had made stitched together. He's holding in his hand, and he's just sort of looking around. Mother, Mom, you didn't come home for soup. Work should be... It's been 2 days. Mom. And with that perception check, in a nearby alley, you see this feral, rabid dog who looks like it's bone-thin, starving, and has a hungry look on its eyes, and stealthily crouches down and stares directly at this boy walking down the street alone.
Able to move? Like,
you can move.
Am I frozen?
No, you're not frozen.
I would like to throw myself between, like, Alexandria is gonna, like, lurch forward to try to, like, get in front of this, like, child. You know, like...
You step out into the street, in between the child and this alleyway. This little boy Baron doesn't see you. And you hear a bark, 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 bark. as this dog tears out from the alleyway and jumps up into the air and literally just goes right through you as if you were incorporeal and pounces on this boy and grabs his arm, begins sinking his teeth in and just tearing. The boy screams, he falls to the ground, the contents of his backpack spill out onto the street, and he kicks the dog and manages to like wiggle away, and you see there was like some food in the backpack that grabs the dog's attention, and he begins, the dog begins like rummaging through the backpack and he's grabbing this food and just devouring it. The boy grabs his arm that's been torn and is bleeding, and crying. He stumbles down the street into a nearby alleyway, and give me a perception or an insight roll.
Oh, it's only 6. Oh, that is a 3, not a 6. So that's a 6. 3 plus 3 for perception.
Okay. You don't notice anything at first, but then you look at this boy where he's in the alleyway, sort of like crouched down, like in a little ball, trying to hide, bleeding and crying. He frantically looks around, like he's checking his person, and then he leans out and he looks into the street where his backpack is, and he sees his doll is out there in the street by his backpack, the one he had made for his mother, and he is breathing like really sharply, like in just short gasps and like this panic, and he looks around frantically, like if he can like flee, get away from this dog, or like if there's any help around. He doesn't see, he sees like he can run away, but as you're watching him, you see him look back at the dog, and you see his eyes connect with where this doll is lying on the ground, and he looks around and he sees that there's like a broken rake lying on the ground, where there's like the metal part and like just like a little bit to like there's just like a small amount of wood and the metal bit, or rake, and he, holding one arm, lets go of it, and with his good arm he picks up the rake, and he's just like shivering and crying and breathing really sharply. He looks out and he sees the dog going through his food and his things. He looks at the doll, and he begins walking out back towards the dog in the street. The dog looks back up at him, deep growl, and snarls. The boy keeps walking forward and raises the rake above his head, and he lets out a tiny little boyish scream as he charges the dog. The dog barks and lunges up and pounces at the boy, and before you can see what happens, mists blow through the street and there's darkness.
Oh my god.
Everyone roll me a Constitution check.
Oh my god.
18.
18.
14 plus 2. I only got a 16.
Okay.
That's not good.
Cool. Dorothy, Puri, you pulled that rope. You blink, and you're not on an island anymore. You're standing you're in a dark room. Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay. So you're in this room that is not lit. You cough. It's like this musty dust in the air. And you look around the room, and you can see like candles and like urns, and then your eyes catch on a large, what would be like a coffin, but much more intricate than any coffin you've ever seen. It looks very decorative. And as you're waking up and you see this, Electra, you also snap up, awake, and still sitting cross-legged on the floor. You feel stone beneath you as opposed to dirt and sand. Do you have dark vision, Electra?
I do.
Naturally, you all have dark vision. You see a centipede crawling across the floor a few inches away from you. And
Behind me.
you see a large... you've seen coffins like this before. You fully see a sarcophagus here, like a really intricate one. And you see some tattered priest vestments hanging from a wall. And finally, Alexandria, the mists recede and you blink your eyes and you're standing in this small, dusty room. Or at least that's what you think at first, until you realize that you're actually on your back and you can't really move your arms or legs, but it smells musty. And there's like this faint smell of incense. And you feel on your back that you're lying on top of something like stiff, but also feels like rough fabric. And as you feel your surroundings, it feels like you're enclosed in something.
Can I like punch out, or like can I like try to like?
Give me a strength check to try and push off.
Oh, 18 plus 9. Not 9. Oh my god. 18 plus 1 is 19.
Cool.
Close. Okay, I do not have a plus 9.
Your augmented pure strength, you push the lid off of this thing and you like realize you were in a coffin, and you quickly spin around and you see a mummified corpse that you were lying on top of. Electra, you hear a thud come from a few feet away, but not in the same room as you. And Pyrrha, you hear a faint thud, sound like it's coming from somewhere else. Electra, from the direction that sound came from the room you're in, there's like a tiny little slot that's like a foot in height, but like 3 feet across, where there's like a couple of candles that are like not lit, that seems to look into that room that a thud came from.
Okay. I'm going to I'm in a strange room and I hear a noise. Just had some spooky set dad strange dream. So I'm gonna scamper to my legs and press my back against the wall and peek through the little opening. And just see what I can see.
You see a lid of a sarcophagus on the floor, and you see a woman standing in the middle of this room.
Alexandria is probably literally just spinning around and just looking at every single thing in this dusty space. It is just super confused.
She doesn't, and in her head, Electra's gonna turn back and be like, she looks just as confused as I am. Oh god, this is not good. Are there any doors in this room that I'm in?
There is a door in this room, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna take another peek and be like, hi!
Who's there? I feel like Alexandria's gonna whip out a dagger and just
I can hide again. As soon as they see the dagger, I'm hiding again.
Kiri, you do hear the hay. Like a muffled hay. Looking around the room you're in, Puri, your room is about 15 feet by 15 feet in width and length. And where there's a door on the north wall, there's a little slit just the same way I described, where it's a foot tall and about 3 feet across, where there's just half melted candles that peer into this other room, and all the walls are made of smooth stone.
Okay. And is there any door thing?
There is a door.
Okay. But I heard a hey.
You did hear a hey, and it sounds like it was coming from through that like opening.
What's up?
Oh, I. Oh. Hi.
Yeah.
There's multiple people here.
Can Alexandria move towards like the sound of Electra talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel like Alexandria is gonna move forward. Is there like I missed this. Is there like a doorway or something that she can like open or like get to?
So
what's the
to the directionally south, there is a wall that's about 20 feet long, and like in the middle of that, there's like that little opening that peers into the other room. At the western portion of that, like where the wall like hits a corner, there is a door that looks like it leads out somewhere else, but not into that room where Electra is.
Electra's gonna look through the slot towards Alexandria and be like, you gotta do me a favor, right? I need you to, first, can you put down the dagger?
Alexandria does not put down the dagger and like widens her stance and goes, "Who the hell are you?"
Alright, right, see that's the same question I had for you, but first things first, I'm gonna get you to give me a little pinch because I'm really not sure if I'm dreaming or not.
I'm sorry, what?
Just pinch me. Am I awake? Come on, just a little pinch. I just gotta know.
Alexandria like comes forward very, very carefully though, and takes the tip of her dagger through this and just like cuts just like a little nick and then steps back really, really fast. Her hand kind of like going like this.
There's a little bit of blood on her, and she goes, right, well, that'll do it. Good thing I got healing powers. And then she's just gonna, like, top herself off with a little click. Alright, so this is not a dream, meaning this is the absolute weirdest day I've had in my entire life. Now, hello, I heard another voice over there. And as
Yeah,
soon
I'm
as
listening
she's
to both
like
of you. I don't know
realizing that Alexandra's not responding, she's gonna head over towards.
Hey, don't leave! How do I get out of here? Alexandra's gonna call out, but like,
doesn't look like I know. Like I have no idea.
Can I do an investigation check or something to try to figure out
give
how
me
I
a
can?
perception check.
Where's Oh, that is a 17 plus 3. That is another dirty 20. I don't know what it is today, but my perception check.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, you say that like, hey, well, how do I get out of here? You begin looking around. So first thing you notice is above the sarcophagus, you see like a out of use, like well rusted over flute that has been mounted above the sarcophagus. Second thing you notice as you look around, you look down at the sarcophagus and you see that there's an inscription on the lid that reads, Priest Sawab, devoted of sect, snake charmer. And also around the room, amidst various like incenses and like little candles and such, and just urns that are either decorational or whatever. You see that there are 3 baskets up against the eastern wall in the room.
Power of deduction. I don't think Alexandria is going to dare to open anything of this tomb of the dead. I want to look a little more at that flute, though.
Okay, yeah.
Thing hanging above.
You pick the flute up off its little mount, and you see it's just like this reed flute that is just well out of disrepair. But it's like a little reed flute.
Okay. Alexandria's gonna put that back, I think, respectively, and just like turn and go towards like there's a door, right? Like it's I forget which wall it is, but I think Alexandria's kind of keeping like an eye out for like this new person and then this other voice randomly, and is just gonna walk towards this door to see if it leads anywhere to try to meet up.
Cool. You walk towards the door. You put your hand on it. Go to open it. Locked.
Well, good thing I have a lockpick.
Go for
Can
it.
I try
I'm
to
gonna
like
move
pick it?
towards.
You can certainly
while
try.
this is happening, I think Electra would move towards Piri's voice.
Sure.
That is a.
Hi.
Hey,
How you going, mate?
not well.
Same, man. Same. Do you have any idea where we are?
No, zero.
Yeah, I reckon we are all in the same situation here.
Were you taken from someplace?
Taken. Somehow lost amongst the darkness. There's like so many ways you could phrase it, and they're all accurate.
Lovely.
Well, here, I'm gonna try. Let's meet in the hallway. I think there might be a hallway if we all have doors.
I would love nothing more than to meet you two in the hallway.
Go ahead, say what you're going to say. That was good. Both of you give me a perception check, and I'll tell you what you see in your respective rooms. Alexandria, what was your Thieves' Tools check?
15.
Does not open. It is locked firm.
Is this door like stone? Is it wood? Is it
It's
thick?
like a thick wood that's like connected
It's
to
slim
this like
thick.
it's slim thick. With
Slim
like
thick
iron
door.
banding. So it's like an iron reinforced
no.
like slim thick door. That's got like grates that like look out into a hallway that you can't really see anything on the hallway of interest. It just looks like a stone dusty hallway. But already in the room, you saw that inscription on the thing. You see that flute, and you see amongst the other various things in the room, those 3 baskets, one in the top left corner, one in the middle, one at the bottom right corner. And those were the only things that stuck out of note.
I think Alexandria's gonna kick the door.
Oh, actually, there's one other thing you did see. As you're looking around, wait, did you put the lid back on the sarcophagus, or did you leave it open?
I left it open.
Okay. In the sarcophagus, you see, like knocked over as you like climbed out. You see, like there's like a tiny little stone green scarab on like a little like tiny pedestal that like looks like it was resting with this mummified corpse in this sarcophagus.
I think Alexandria is going to pocket this. Is going to take this one item.
Cool. Do you do anything with it when you pick it up, or you
not
just
gonna-
pocket it?
I'd like to look at it. Does it look like it's just like a little fancy piece? Does it look like it could like fit somewhere? Like, what's the vibe?
So it's a little green stone that's like a little worn. But on that flat part of the bottom where the beetle is, you flip it over and there's a prayer inscription on the bottom. It reads, "Mighty Neb, I pray your roar strikes fear into the wicked hearts of demons that would harm me. Osa, master of death, oversee my soul's journey through the land of the dead. May Anu's wisdom judge the burden of my heart at the end of my path, and grant me entry to the field of reeds."
Okay. Actually, Alexandria's gonna go, put this back by the mummy's body. Picking up, after reading that, but maybe it's kind of important to their religious beliefs and afterlife, and is going to eye the baskets and like whatever of stuff, and is just feeling out of out of her area of expertise in this strange new room with items and like this death theme going on, you know, in this burial, and is gonna go to the door and just like look at it and just go like under her breath, like dang it, and then is gonna say a little bit louder, can you guys get out of your rooms? I could use a little help. Just like very frustrated as she says this as loud as she can, in hopes that the other two will hear her wherever they are.
What do we see in our rooms?
Yeah, what are your perception checks?
I got a
18.
14.
Okay. Okay. Electra, in your room, you look around, and on the closed sarcophagus in your room, there is an inscription that reads, "Priestess Joba held essay in her heart." You also look around the room, and there's again those tattered priest vestments that are hanging from the wall. There's like a couple of like depictions of like suns on like papyrus paper, and like reeds, and just other like various religious iconography. But yeah, that's what you see in your room.
Well, I think I'm just gonna go straight for the door.
Okay. You go to open it, and believe it or not, it is also locked.
If there's a door from my room, can I try and open it?
You certainly can. It is locked.
What
Yeah,
door is it?
wow, guys.
What?
I guess.
What kind of door is it?
A slim, thick wood door that is reinforced with iron, that also has iron grates that like peer out into the hallway. Except you don't think it peers out into the same hallway that Electra is probably seeing. And you're not sure about the third person, Alexandria, who you don't know the name of any of these people yet, but you're not sure if it's probably not connected to the hallway either. But around your room, what you see is also on the sarcophagus, there is an inscription, Priest Beck, Defender of the Faith. Around the room, you find a barrel full of scrolls that depict military training regimens and prayers to the god Neb. These scrolls feature depictions of like a lion figure, like a humanoid body, but like a lion head, with like a sword you haven't seen before, that's like straight for a bit, then like curves as if in like an axe head, and holding a shield. Above the sarcophagus on the southern wall of the room, you see a shield is mounted on the wall, and on either side of it, 2 quarterstaffs are like mounted upright. That is what you see in your room.
Okay. Do I still have the equipment on me
Yep.
before I was okay? So I still have my weapon.
Yep.
Then I'm just gonna take out my hammer.
Mhm.
My war hammer, and
Yep.
I just want to start like bashing where the lock is.
Okay, give me
I want
an
to force my way
attack.
through.
Give me an attack roll. That's what I need. DC 20, because this is a rather reinforced door. They, believe it or not, whoever built this place doesn't want people breaking into these burial rooms.
Okay, 25.
Well, damn, you smash that lock open, and the door swings open.
Ah! I got the door open.
But did you
Not that
hear that? Is there something coming for us?
No, I opened the door.
I got. Good, you didn't
Can you
have to
come-
do it so violently.
Yes, I did. And I'm gonna.
Well, can you come help us out? Can you, like, you know, get on, like, get us out of here?
Yeah.
I'm already looking in the hallway.
Yeah, you look out into the hallway. So outside the door, it goes to the left and just continues on for a bit, and you see it rounds around to the right.
Okay. There's only one way it goes?
Yep.
Is that in the direction of the voices that I'm hearing?
The hallway does not seem to head in those directions. You're not sure if it connects out there somewhere, but like that hallway is going away from the room that you're in and the room that you can hear Electra from.
I thought it was 1 foot by 3 feet.
The gap that
Right.
like looks in between the rooms, yeah.
That's a decent gap.
It's a foot. I don't know. I don't know.
I could fit in that.
Could you? I mean, if you want to give me,
I don't think Alexandria could.
Ashley could.
I don't know what could Electra. What do you think? Could Electra fit through a 1
Electra
foot tall?
probably can't, but can Alexandria? I'm like, is she slim?
She's slender. She's got some muscles, but
I don't know.
Do you
like,
also
Electra
do you
is-
relay any
everything on
info-
Electra is like.
Do you
So
relay any information of the things any of you found to one another?
like about the items, the
Inscriptions
room.
or the items? Yeah. Okay.
I don't know these people.
No.
No, that's
Electra
totally.
looked at it and was like, "Oh, cool room," and was like,
Um,
"Now it's time for me to leave."
Oh wait a second. I want to. Can I go back into the room?
Yeah,
that-
it
Like little 1 foot slot. I'm making sure the door is not shutting.
door's
again,
not
but-
gonna close.
Good. I made sure of that. So this slot that's like 1 foot. What's the surrounding material? Is it like stone?
Yeah, it's like it looks like the wall itself is like 3 or 4 feet thick. It's like this thick like limestone or sandstone. I don't know minerals, guys. It's a rock. It's a rock
Yeah.
wall. It's stone.
This is really embarrassing.
It's like a desert stone rock, an arid rock.
Desert stone rock, you say? So
Probably sandstone was your
If I-
best bet.
I'm staring at this rock. Does it look like a hammer could break it?
After a while, yeah, it looks like if you like spent a few hours, you might be able to smash open an opening.
Oh, that's a while. What about an
Yeah, it's
like
a
an
long
opening to
time.
like squeeze through, or an opening to walk through?
It would take less time if you were trying to hit around where that opening is. It's just that
That's
like
what I'd be trying to do.
the way you'd be hitting it would be either down, where there's a lot of structural integrity because it's like you're like hitting down on top of a wall. Essentially, you're not like trying to hit through, but also like so your options would be like if you're hitting that gap, you have like a 1 foot gap where you could hit down or hit to the sides. You could try like if you want to give a attack roll and see how well you do at like breaking through it. I'll let you do that.
Okay, I'll make one
Um,
attack roll. Let's see, I want to take a swing.
Sure.
You missed dagger friend. You reckon you can? I'm sorry, I didn't know how else to. What's your name?
Alexandria. You?
Alexandria. Lovely to meet you. Name's Electra. You reckon you can fit through this little thingy thing? We can pop one out of here together.
As they're saying that, I got a 20.
You
From behind us.
definitely, like you crack into it. You do a good amount of like caving in. Like it looked like what you'd imagine would look like if you smacked a concrete wall with a sledgehammer. Like there is now a portion of damage.
Bigger hole.
Yeah, like maybe like a little bit bigger of a hole. Electra, give me an insight check. So I mean, hey, if you get
Well,
a couple more
While this
20s,
is happening, can Alexandria turn back to the lockpick and try to work on it again?
you certainly can. And yeah, go ahead.
I got a 13.
Okay. You like it seems like with the decorative nature of this sarcophagus that like this is a culture that is not completely alien to you. The Mulhorandi people, like a New Soul team, would bury important clerical figures in things like this, and you know that usually the things that were important to them in life were often entombed with them, either in the sarcophagus itself or in their burial chambers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'll give you with a 13.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's why she hasn't touched any.
What'd you get on that lockpick?
A 19.
Yeah, the door opens. You lockpick it.
Nice.
Alexandria
Oh,
probably
yeah.
doesn't say anything as she opens this door and like slides out into the hallway.
Alexandria
So
Slinks
you
up the
want
door,
to climb
slinks
through
out.
here or not? Electra doesn't realize you're gone. She's just like, you want to come in my room?
Alexandria hearing this like looks so like, okay, so I step out into the hallway. What do I see?
Yeah, you see that this hallway continues down straight for about, you can see pretty much down to the end of this hallway where your sort of like dark vision ends about 60 feet. It looks like just beyond that there's like a wall or something. You're not quite sure if it's like a wall or the passage continues, but it's pretty dark. But yeah, it looks like this hallway goes straight for about 60 feet.
But it
Before you're-
doesn't like turn to any direction of these voices.
No. At least not from like
Okay.
your percept, like where you can see. And Pierre, you went back in your room? Oh, wait, you were hammering the wall.
Stops the wall for a second. I'm like, that's gonna take a while. So then I'm gonna go into the hallway.
Yeah, you got into the hallway. Do you walk down the hallway?
Yes, I will walk down the hallway.
Cool. You walk down, you round the corner to the right, and the hallway then goes to the left. And you also have dark vision, yes?
I do.
Okay,
But I'm just
gonna
gonna cast I'm gonna cast
Sure.
Produce Flame.
So
So
you light up some
I'll have-
flame, you can see well. To the right down the hallway, you see that this hallway goes back the way you came, except it's a different hallway, and leads to a door at the end of the hall. And to the left, it goes to the hallway sort of widens a bit from the one you are. Looks like there's a dividing wall, but then the dividing wall stops and the hallway widens. And then there's a big door at the end of the hall. The hallway like widens from like 5 feet while it's divided to 10 feet wide where it's not divided.
Okay. I want to try going to not the big door, but the left, right?
Yeah.
Or was that the right? Yeah,
To
I'm
the
gonna go
right.
to the left then.
Or the right, yeah. But you head toward the right. You go walk down, and you walk up to the door. And Electra, you see this person, this woman with red hair, standing in the hallway with flame, looking at your door.
I can see her through the door.
Yeah, there's like
'Cause
little
there's the
iron
bars.
grates. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey.
it's you. You're the one with the voice.
Yeah, and you're the one with the accent. Stand back.
Yep, done. And then back she goes. She knows this is the one who was smashing things.
22.
You smash that door right open.
Oh, all right.
Blam.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. All right. Well, I reckon we should get out of here.
You owe me.
Electra's just gonna right past you.
Alexandria is also walking down the hallway.
Okay.
Her hallway.
You walk down the hallway. Alexandria, that hallway, as I described earlier, the dividing wall ends and opens up into a 10-foot wide hallway. Electra and Puri, you walk back down the hallway, and you both arrive at this wider section of hallway, and before you is a large, double door, big wooden door, like also reinforced with iron. But you notice at the center of the door, there's like a big circle. And you see that there are these brass, like concentric rings, right? So you see that there's a 3-tiered dial on this door with like 3 separate rings: an outer ring, a middle ring, and a center ring that are like wide enough to where there's like little pictographs on them depicting animals. There's 4 animals depicted on the ring in like different segments, like top, right, bottom, left. And the animals are a bull, a jackal, a lion, and a snake. It looks like the rings can be rotated. This appears to be like some sort of locking mechanism. And at the center of these rings, there's a large spherical brass surface that looks like it's indented into the wall that has like a symbolic sun on it.
Okay, well, noting this and also the new people, Alexandria probably is going to pull out her short bow and just point it in the direction of Electra, Imperior, these people, and just be like, "Who are you? Did Cassius send you? Is this all just like some punishment? Is this a game?"
All right. I can see that you're got a little bit of a hot head right now. I think we're all having a bad day, so you don't got to be the one to take it out on the others who are, like I say, also having a bad day. All right. I don't know. At this point, I don't even know who I am or where I am. First, I was like down on the material plane, and then I was back in Arcadia, and then now I'm here, God knows where.
Yeah, Alexandra, those words made no sense to you.
I don't know who you are or what is wrong with you, but give me one reason why I shouldn't shoot you here. If this is another test by Cassius, so I swear I thought I got out of that.
You know, I don't know who your Cassius is, but the reason you shouldn't shoot me is I'm just going to heal myself back up, and then I'll shoot you back. So, tell me, do you have any healing powers?
I don't, but I have pretty good aim.
Done. See, if anything, you could hurt me. I'll heal myself back up, and then I'll hurt you, but you can't heal yourself. So that's the point. If I'm not going to hurt you,
can't heal yourself.
Harry is going to go to the door and ignore them.
If you hurt me, I can still hurt you. I promise you.
Stop moving. Stop.
You're still involved in this.
Who let Goldilocks out? Who let Goldilocks out? You let Goldilocks?
Now, I don't know who this Goldilocks is, but it was actually my father who let me out.
That's you. You're
Might have heard of him. His name's on it. I'm Goldilocks. No, I'm Electra.
Yeah, Imperial Alexandra, neither of you have heard of Honor. You don't know who that is.
Listen, I've had a really long day, and this is just not what I need. Now, if you'll excuse me... Who are you?
I'm Perry. Hi, nice to meet you. Now, will you please help me open this door?
Yes!
Alexandra's gonna take a step back and look at everything, and like power of deduction is gonna realize that this is like a losing fight. That this is like the only logical way out, and he's just gonna like lower the crossbow, put it away, sigh, take a moment, and just go, "I'm Alexandria, and I really don't want to be here."
Boy, I'm Electra. I also don't want to be here. And she's gonna look at Peary.
What? I'm not a child.
I don't know where in Bolivia we could be.
Group here.
No. But we just need to get out of here. And if I can figure out where we are, I can figure out how to get somewhere in Barovia. It's not that hard to navigate unless...
Barovia?
Wait.
Yeah, no, neither. Imperial Electra, you've never heard of Barovia.
And we have to be somewhere underground in Barovia, maybe in the castle, unless...
I don't know what that is.
Okay, this is gonna sound really strange.
Are we on the material... I have literally no idea where I am right now. I was in New Saltine, now I have no idea.
Right? I mean, I've never seen this space, but like... You guys aren't from Barovia?
No. Never heard of it.
No, I actually never heard of it.
Miss. Did any of you willingly step into Miss?
Nope.
Yeah.
So.
I went outside.
But yeah, I actually got swallowed up by some darkness.
Okay, so Miss Darkness, there has to be a logical reason why we're stuck here. And if we're not in Barovia, you were talking about these random places. I don't know where you're from. Are you dead?
Barovia by the sea?
Oh, Barovia is not by the sea, let me tell you.
Then
Are
yeah.
we
Are
we dead? Is this... That's...
Now, if we were
I've
dead,
never
I
seen
reckon
the
I
sea.
would have seen my father by now.
You're Goldilocks, you confuse me.
Goldilocks. I like it. I do.
I think
Don't understand it, but I like it.
Harry is
Yeah.
also giving the same exact look.
Okay, so we don't
Alright.
know where we came from, we're here, and now we need to get out.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
Electra's gonna bend down and like look at the animal.
You
We got
You look at
snake,
the
height snakes.
you
That was
look at the-
my
you look at the
You
rings.
snakes in your room.
There was an inscription that said the priest was a snake charmer.
No, I know,
Of
but Electra's like,
elimination.
what?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Snake.
So again, there's an outer ring, and there's 4 animals on each of these rings at like a bottom right, top left, whatever. You know what I mean. The outer one is sort of like I'm just gonna go by the top, where it looks like things are supposed to align. The outer ring is on a bull. The middle ring is on a snake, and the inner ring is on a jackal.
You reckon it's unlocked yet? Electra's gonna try to push it.
Do you push it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it unlocked?
What is your AC?
15. She doesn't have her shield up, so 15.
Okay. This hits your AC. You push in this button, and from behind you hear a sound.
She was just trying to like push the door, but if it's pushing the button, that's fine.
Okay, that's what I assumed you were doing, but since it's already happened. So a dart shoots out from where this wall, like divider was, and sticks into your back for 3 damage.
And Alexandria, like, even if it's like a delayed response, like push Electra, like, like having like these trained senses, like, can she try to push her? Like, it already hits, but like I want her to like.
After she gets hit, you can push her. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, but it's like a delayed reaction because Alexandria's still fuzzy, but like her just like instinct and training is just like, oh, sound, crap, something's wrong, trap, move, dang it, a moment later still pushes you.
It was just piercing, right?
Yep, just piercing.
Okay. Jesus.
Oh,
no, she doesn't say Jesus. She says, oh, God. And she pulls out this little dart, and she's just going to flick it to the ground and say, oi, thanks for the push, a little late there. Guys, it's not unlocked.
Yeah, we figured that out. I was just trying to help, okay? This is why I don't do group things. Oh my gods. And then like Alexander's gonna lean down to look at the dart to like just like look at it to see if there's any what does it look like?
Yeah, it looks like a tiny little dart that is only meant to go short distances being launched, and it's got like a little iron tip on it. But it doesn't look like it's been coated with any poisons or toxins.
I want to look where it came from. Is there like a little hole in the wall or something?
There is a little hole in the wall where the dart came from.
Are there any other holes in the wall?
There appears to just be the one hole.
Perfect. I'm going to stuff something in the hole.
Good move. What do you stuff in the hole?
Let me see. I have some random traveler's clothes, so I'm gonna like rip off maybe like a thing from the shirt, bunch it up, stuff it in.
Cool.
Alright.
Kind of pretty.
Give me a sleight of hand check just while you're stuffing this in. The DC on this is so low. Just like don't roll a 1.
Yeah, that's a 14.
Cool. You don't trigger anything by jamming this cloth in there.
Perfect.
Right.
Now that kind of hurt, so next time let's not let that happen. No.
I could have told you not to.
You know what? Some of us prefer trial and error.
Alexander doesn't smile, like it's just like, and then looks at Puri.
Same reaction. Is there any other holes?
Just that one. From everyone can give me a perception check in the hallway, though.
That is only 13.
Okay. What was that, Electra?
18.
Okay. Electra, you're the only one that notices this, but again, the walls are pretty much bare aside from like mounted torches that are like all out. But on the north wall there are 6 torches. It looks like there's about 1 torch for every 5 feet. On the south wall there are 7 torches. You see 1 5-foot segment of wall occupies or holds 2 torches.
Alright, you guys figure out this walk thing. I'll be right back. And she's gonna like just wander towards where it. I want to look. Wait, so on one, are they all evenly spaced, and the other one they're evenly spaced except for one little spot?
Except for one 5-foot segment of wall, there's 2 that are like closer together.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to that area.
Okay.
And I'm gonna check out the wall. I'm looking to see if there's like, especially under, like on the ground, I'm trying to see if there's a draft under any parts of the wall. Seemingly like maybe there's something on the other side.
An investigation check with advantage.
Ooh, dope. Okay, so that is a 14, and that is a 16.
You don't notice a draft, but you do see there's like the tiniest gap in like just like a hair's breadth from the floor to this wall that makes it look like this segment of the wall is not connected 100% to the floor. And you notice that same thing along the edge of this 5-foot segment, like going along and across the top.
Is there like a torch on that part or beside?
There's 2 dead torches and like in their mounts on in that 5-foot segment on the wall.
She's gonna reach up and she's gonna pull one, and if it doesn't budge, she's gonna try and pull the others.
Do you
like
pull a right one or the left one first?
Oh, whichever she's closest to be honest.
Okay. You pull a left one first, nothing happens. You pull a right one, and it clicks, and you feel the wall loosen, and it feels like you could pull the wall back.
I'm going to pull the wall.
You pull the wall back, and it swings open, revealing a small, dark hallway that is only about 15 feet long, and it looks like there's a tiny room at the end of this hall.
Before she moves in, she's gonna go, how's that look coming along?
Great. When there's no progress at all.
Yeah, you do see Electra is standing there with a wall that is open. Cool. Electra, you walk down.
And she's just gonna go in.
You walk down the hall.
Alexandria kind of turn and run towards this, like, you know, new discovery and pull, or not pull Puri, because she doesn't want to touch Puri, but just be like, oh, come on.
Yeah, Puri might flinch a little from almost being touched.
You walk into this room, Electra. Alexandria and Puri, you follow shortly after. And you see at the center of this room, it's the only thing in this empty room, is this brightly painted chest decorated with like religious pictographs, just in the middle of this room.
Wow. So I'm gonna think that Electra would like cast light, probably like literally on her hand or something, and she's just like holding it up and like looking at different things.
Yeah.
Or like I really want to open it, but I really know that I shouldn't.
Probably a good idea. And Alexandria.
Oh my god, you're behind me! Oh my god, you're in here too.
Yes, I'm here. We're here. We came. Alexandra's tone probably goes slightly like softer and not as defensive as before, and she pulls out from like a random pocket like these little like round glasses and kind of pulls them on, and you see her eyes like slightly brighten just a little bit at this like discovery. And Alexandria is going to kind of like move forward to this chest and just like kind of like look at it up close.
Sure. What are you looking for? You like
I'll
checking
hold
for
my hand up
traps,
close.
or you just looking at the chest?
Alexandria will look around the room for traps first, and then is going to focus on the chest specifically. So.
Okay. You don't even need to roll to look around the room for traps. They'd have to be extremely well concealed traps that would be beyond what the construction of this place would imply, because the walls are just bare stone, as with the ceiling. So you don't think there's any traps in this room. You can give me a perception check on the chest or an investigation.
I'll do investigation. That is another 13 plus 3, so that is 16.
Yeah, you look at this chest. It is a bright blue. It's decorated with those religious pictographs, so you are completely alien to you. You don't know anything about this religion that is depicted here. But there's no lock on this chest, and it doesn't seem to be held shut by anything but like a center, like little latch.
Alexandria is going to like kind of step back and like look at the other two to be like chill for a second, and is going to kind of pull out a dagger and just goes, I think I'm going to open it.
Make sure it's not rigged.
Can I do an additional check to see if it seems sketchy?
Sure, you can do an additional check to see if it seems sketchy. Give me an investigation check to check for sketchiness.
I see 19. It's an investigation plus 3, so that is 19 plus 3.
It's 22.
22? Yeah.
You give this thing another thorough look over. You don't find any mechanisms or springs or tripwires, or you don't find anything that would suggest this is booby-trapped.
Well, in my experience, this seems okay for now. And so then Alexandra's kind of like gonna focus and is gonna like try to use her dagger to kind of like get this like latch and like pop it open, not using her hands, and like takes a big like falls back as she opens it.
And the chest pops open. Nothing happens. You see inside, it looks like there's a couple sets of like fine looking clerical clothes that are like folded up. You see a noticeably pristine pair of leather boots, and you see a small little pouch in there. Like a small little linen pouch.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
You bought the.
I want to see if I can like depict the religion, or like if I've literally met the god.
Yeah, so there's nothing on the clerical clothes that is like to like denominate a specific religion, and there's no necessarily like lore or anything on these things. But you can tell like just by the way they are and like the decorative nature of these robes. These are like ceremonial, like clerical robes. Like it appears that that's what these are. That would also further be explained by you reading that inscription earlier that referenced that it was a priest's tomb or sarcophagus was buried here. Yeah.
Can I look at the little pouch?
Sure. You pick up this little linen pouch and you open it. And you see inside are 5 little pieces of blue quartz. You can give me a intelligence check to appraise these if you want. A history or just raw intelligence.
Yeah. I'm gonna do history and 8 + 1. That's only a 9.
It's probably worth about 5 to 10 gold apiece.
Okay, yeah. Alexandria not making eye contact with either of the other two is going to suddenly pocket this.
Knew that was coming.
Sure. Are you trying to do that like without them seeing?
I mean, I guess Alexandria doesn't really care that much.
Okay.
So like not completely sneaky, like not enough to like I don't think I like would want to roll for it. Like it's not like the goal, but just like
just casually put in
not making a big deal. Yeah, just like very smoothly is just like as if I've done that move before. Sliding it in.
Piran, give me an insight check.
15.
Those boots are the boots of a warrior right there. Those are fighting boots that are in really good condition. It doesn't necessarily make sense why they're with clerical garb, but then you recall that the sarcophagus that you looked at had the inscription that mentioned the priest buried there being defender of the faith. So you can assume, and along with all those military scrolls that like had training regimens and stuff, these boots probably belonged to that priest, and it was no stranger to combat. And these are like nicer leather boots than you've ever seen.
I like leather boots. I'm just gonna look at both of them. You guys want boots?
Have at them, Red Riding Hood. Yeah, have at them, Red Riding Hood. Alexandria is gonna say and lean back.
Nice.
Hilarious.
Ha 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 ha. And then I'm gonna.
I'd like to put the ceremonial clothes in my bag.
Cool. You grab the 3 sets of clothes and you pop them in your bag. And Piri,
3 sets of clothes. Oh wow.
Yeah, it was 3 sets of like clerical robes. Piri, you pick up those boots, and as you pick them up, you feel like a little tingle in your hands, and you cast some magic. You sense like a faint trace of magic in these boots.
I'm definitely gonna hold on to these. Actually, my boots, am I wet at all, or at least was wet?
You're like a little damp, but you're not soaked through anymore.
My boots probably pretty. My old boots pretty.
You're probably a little soggy.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna fling those off and put on the new ones.
You slip them on. You belt the buckles on them, and it's almost as if they fit to you as you put them on to allow for maximum mobility. They
Nice.
feel really good.
These are mine now.
So you're now standing in an empty and looted room.
Shall we return to
The door.
the dial?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, now you said your room had snakes.
Yeah. A little.
And what about
clue,
your
something
room?
about Snake Charmer.
Yeah. Did your room have any animals?
My room?
Piri, your room mentioned scrolls with prayers to the god Neb that had like lion iconography on them.
Lions, I guess.
Now I'm not
What
gonna
about-
lie. Ashley does not remember.
That would be because either you
There
didn't
wasn't one.
find anything that was animal in nature,
Okay.
or there
That's what I
wasn't.
thought. I was like, I actually should have remembered this, but okay. Alright, well, now that's really cool, but I don't have an animal.
Like, there was no mention of an animal, an inscription, a theme.
No, it was just this priestess Joba. She, I guess she's really cool. I didn't touch anything, man. Yet, mate, I've learned many of things, and you're not supposed to touch stuff, especially when they're dead. Even when they're alive, you're not supposed to take things.
Yeah.
We can talk about that a different time. Was there only 3 rooms? Like, would we be able to go back and check to make sure there's any other?
Yep. Just those 3 rooms.
Have we walked back to the door, or are we doing that now?
By the door.
Okay.
Alright, well, I reckon it has something to do with the order and the animals. So I'm gonna run back to my room and see if I can find one of those animals in there.
Okay, but if you discover another secret passage, let us know.
Alright. And she's gonna, scamper down the hall.
Okay. You can go ahead and give me another perception check, and Alexandria, give me an insight check.
21.
Okay. So, Electra, you find all the same things that you found before, but that saying, the way it's written, Priestess Joba held essay in her heart, almost seems to be literal. What was that insight roll, Alexandria?
This information.
14 plus 3 is 17.
The most information Alexandria has come across that might be of benefit solving what's going on here would be that prayer on the bottom of that little stone scarab. You connect the dots that priests were buried here. There seems to be animal connotations to specific gods, and the prayer on that scarab stone mentioned 3 gods. You also clock that there's 3 rings.
Can Alexandria kind of relay this information to Pierre and be like, okay, I'm working on a theory right now. I'm going to go back and check something in my room. Don't leave this spot. Don't touch the door.
No touching the door.
Yeah, good. Okay, and if anything happens, just yell out, I guess. I'm like, this is why I don't work with people. Okay, there's just so many things to think about, and I'm just, don't move, okay? And then as stress is just going to kind of turn around and go back to
Cool.
the room.
You head back to that room. I assume you pick up that scarab if that's why you're heading back.
Yeah.
You pick it up. The inscription is still there if you want to either read it again to yourself or take it and discuss it with the others. What would you like to do with it?
I'll just take it back to read when everybody can hear it again.
Electra, what are you doing?
So I got the idea that the Priestess Joba was literal.
It's it sounds like essay in the way that it's written. It doesn't even. It's not only with it's like a double entendre. Was that essay was something and a god in the way it was written.
So Princess Joba essay?
Essay, yeah. ESE.
Is that a name?
Yeah, that's the name of...
Okay. I'm just like literally trying to picture this, and I'm picturing the word essay like you type an essay. And I'm like, this makes no sense to me.
Essay. Yeah, it's a name.
Okay, so it's priestess, and then her name is Joba Essay.
The inscription read, Priestess Joba held essay in her heart.
Oh, God. God. Okay. Oh, no, I don't. Alright. I'm gonna take a deep breath, and I'm gonna take the lid off this sarcophagus.
You pop the lid off the sarcophagus. You
Very
look
respectfully, I'm also like...
Yes. You pop the lid off, and inside, believe it or not, there's a mummified corpse, but with the addition of, there's a few mummified cats in here. And you see one of the cats actually has a key that was wrapped around its nose, fastened to it, one of the mummified cats. And you look from the cat to the door, where there was also a lock, and you kind of connect the dots that, that probably was the key to the door. And
I didn't even try, yeah. I mean, I think Peary smashed it in.
In the coffin also, resting on the heart of the, like the chest, like, of this mummy, there is another little green scarab with like on a little platform, green stone.
I'll look at it and read it.
Sure. It reads that same prayer, and I can read that again to you now, or you can take it back and discuss it. I'll leave that up to you.
Read it to me again. I'm really bad
it says,
with my notes here.
Mighty Neb, I pray your roar strikes fear into the wicked hearts of demons that would harm me. Osa, master of death, oversee my soul's journey through the land of the dead.
Right.
May Anu's wisdom judge the burden of my heart at the end of my path and grant me entry to the field of reeds. Give me an insight
Do I know
check.
Neb, Osa, or Anu?
None of those names sound vaguely familiar.
Not even the name.
Nope.
Okay. You said insight?
Yep.
7.
I'm gonna say this is enough to pass. It just takes you like too long to make this connection. You think about Master of Death, and you're like, I don't recognize any of these names, but like this culture seems similar to the one I'm familiar with. And then you recall that you've met Osiris at least once, who was a great jackal and ruler over death, at least in the religion of the Mourning people.
Got it. So it's kind of similar.
It seems somewhat similar. Just these names are different. I mean, the other things don't make sense, but
Does Anu... What did that say Anu was the god of?
It read, may Anu's wisdom judge the burden of my heart at the end of my path and grant me entry to the field of reeds. The field of reeds you do recognize as one of the descriptions
This sounds
of...
really familiar.
What's that?
This all sounds very interesting.
The field of reeds, you do recall as one of the ancient ways that Mourning people would refer to essentially a heaven-like afterlife. The other things about Anu don't really ring a bell. But yeah, that's about what you got.
Interesting. Okay, well, I'm thinking... And then it said Neb was the god snake of death or something?
It said, Mighty Neb, I pray your roar strikes fear into the wicked hearts of demons that would harm me.
Roar. Roar. Got it. Roar. Alright! I'm back! I've done some thinking, done some little, like, clock turning. Not that I know what the clock is, but it sounds like it would make sense in this scenario. So, not to brag or anything, but I've met my fair share of gods in the days. And I actually am a daughter of one. Right. Anyways, so I think maybe we got a little bit of a handle on this.
Really?
If you have a handle on it,
actually.
then do you know the order of these animals? Because
I think the first one is lion.
Goldilocks, you are testing me. Alexandria then turns and goes to like the dial and tries. Do we like
It
shift
looks like
them or like?
it looks like you can rotate the different rings.
And she kind of looks back to the group and goes, "Okay, lion first."
Mm-hmm. So you
Does it?
click it a few times, and as it passes each animal, it makes like a clicking sound to signify that something is locked into place. But yeah, you rotate the first one to a lion.
I want to just stand. I want to pull out my shield on my back and kind of hover it in the direction of the dart hole.
Gotcha.
So if it does fire, I'm gonna hit the shield.
Gotcha. Okay, you rotate that first ring.
Yeah, I think the second one might be a jackal. Yeah, I don't really know what noise jackals make. I'm sorry.
I don't even. Alexandra then shifts it again
No
with the
way.
jackal in
You
the
slide
next
to the
ring.
jackal, and the last ring remains, and all the animals on that ring are a bull, a jackal, a lion, and a snake.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
you
this
know
one is
what's
a
coming
snake.
next. There you go. It's my guess.
Okay. Think and kind of with a huff turns it to the snake.
Okay, you turn to the snake. What do you do?
Jump back. I mean, even though isn't there like
Oh,
another
good
little
lord,
center
you
thing?
gotta-
Yeah, there's
You
a
gotta
middle
push
button.
it first. I'm
Okay,
gonna push the
then-
button.
Yeah.
You push the
Alexandra's like
button,
race back.
and you hear a faint, and you see the cloth from the hole like jerk forward and then fall to the floor as it looks like a dart tried to fire out.
Okay, so much for
Maybe
know.
the snake's
I
on
have
the
an upper
outside.
hand. I know what we're dealing with.
Actually,
Good
Electra,
job.
give me a. Actually, everyone can give me a religion check.
3.
Naturally.
Ooh.
5.
Naturally.
Religion.
I'm not feeling very in
17.
tune.
17. Okay.
Yes.
Alexandria, strangely enough, getting the highest roll here on religion. But even the concept of multiple gods is kind of foreign, Alexandria. Like, you've heard of, like, there's a god of the mists people sometimes worship to, like Ezra, but, like, gods? Like, it's sort of like a, like maybe not, I don't know. But you could, there's like a pattern that you recognize with the way the prayer is written that seems like there's a starting point, a middle point, and an end point. The starting point you've connected that the roar of Neb scaring off demons to protect, it sounds like souls that are journeying through the land of the dead, which it sounds like Ausa oversees, Master of Death. Then the final, like the end destination where it seems like a soul would face judgment would be before Anu. And that you read that bottom part of the prayer again, and it reads, "May Anu's wisdom judge the burden of my heart at the end of my path and grant me entry to the field of reeds." And that there's one part of that that just is like, the thing that sticks out is like, burden of my heart. What does that mean? Burden of my heart. And that's what you get with that roll.
Burden of my heart. Alexandra's gonna say that out loud. I don't know what.
It's alright, mate. Get your heart broken.
I don't get. Why would you assume that I've ever? No, definitely not.
Alright, shake it off, shake it off.
Are you patting Alexandra's back?
She's trying to pat you on the back.
With also, like, as far as you've come, you're fairly confident that the outer ring is correct on the lion. If that center sun represents heaven in this instance, then it would make sense that Neb, the roar, would be a lion, which would be on the outside. Land of the dead, Electra has said that, well, I know a god that was like jackal in nature, so that has to be that. The last one, you assume, because it's not like these are going to be duplicates, would either be the snake or the bull, and you did just try the snake.
Oh,
Then Alexandria is going to turn to Electra.
But I think you're wrong.
Alexandria is going to glare at Electra. Grab Electra by the lapels and say, Goldilocks,
Yeah.
stop talking. And is going to drop and turn and then shift it to the other one.
Cool. You shift it to a bowl, push the thing in, and the door creaks open. And you see before
Oh, sorry.
as the door opens, sure, that's a sound that Electra makes. Everybody give me a Constitution saving throw.
God. You got this, okay? Okay, 17 plus 2, that is a 19.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Reflexes.
Period is 16.
Yeah.
And Electra?
8.
8. Okay. The door opens, and you see this room is illuminated by a blue brazier at the foot of this statue that is like crumbled from the waist up. And immediately you were washed over by the foulest rotten scent you've ever smelled. Electra, you can't help but like briefly gag. Alexandria and Piri, you stomach it. But it just smells foul in here. And you look around, and you can see this like a ritualistic sacrifice has occurred here. Essentially, by failing that con save, essentially that's going to mean is like as long as you're in this room, you're going to be under the poisoned condition, so you're going to have disadvantage on ability checks or just rolls because the scent is just so overpowering to Electra. So yeah, you look around and you see that there's like black sand in a circle around this statue, and you see there's 5 bound corpses that have like been destroyed or consumed to various degrees. That are in a line with this circle. And there's just like bones and just rotting flesh that just like litter the room. You see this circle of black sand around the statue has an X going through it. And as you notice that, Alexandria and Electra, you feel that feeling of a quill being traced on the palm of your hand and then drawing an X through it.
Yeah. Alexandria's like gonna jerk and just be like, what? No, like, not about this.
Before?
I've seen plenty of dead bodies, thank you very much.
Period. You recognize this as the same symbol on your hand, and Alexandria and Electra, this symbol on your hand of a circle with an X going through it matches this circle and X going through it in this room.
Oh, don't like this one bit. Now, you can keep it up with the nicknames, I don't care, but here, have this. And I'm gonna, like, pat you on the arm, Alexandra, and Electra's gonna cast Guidance. So, when you, do an ability check, you can add a D4.
Okay. Can Alexandria, like, she spent a lot of her limited free time, like just studying whatever she could, any strange thing. Can she try to just be like, I know nothing probably will come to mind, like this whole new space, but just be like, is there anything in any of the random books she was able to look through? Like, like this seems strange. Can she put anything together?
You can give me an Arcana check.
Okay. That's a 9 plus 1, which is a 10. But can I use my guidance to add a d4? Okay. And that is a 4, so that's 14. It's a little
14.
bit better than 10.
You look around and you see that there is, again, this ritual space. You see along the lines of the circle and like out on the circle and across the X, there's like incantations written in an infernal script that unless you speak infernal, you can't necessarily read.
I might speak. I don't remember if I picked that or where would I?
That'd be under your languages and proficiencies.
I do speak infernal.
Cool. So what you see here is a mix of infernal and abyssal. It's sort of like how there's like languages that sometimes like mesh and it's like a combination of the two. It's like broken infernal, but what you get from it is it seems to be some sort of summoning ritual that doesn't seem to target anything specifically as much as it is calling out to a unnamed power asking for something.
Alexandria is gonna kind of like lean back from peering and look down at her hand and look to Piri and Electra and just be like, I'm able to read some parts of this. And she kind of like reaches up and adjusts her glasses and like kind of relays that information that like this is like a general calling to something. It's some sort of summoning ritual, but like I don't know specifically who or what it was trying to summon in exchange for whatever, like, but that's like the general overview of this very creepy room.
Well, did it get us?
You're not sure. It's the symbol is the same, but there's nothing about the inscription that you can read that references any of you in particular. It was like calling out to a power. Like it's a summoning ritual that was calling out to a power, but there's nothing specific mentioned.
I relay that again, like it's not a specific summoning, but I think it's strange. Did you
seem like
did you
somehow
have this
related
before?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you get this mark?
I got it.
I haven't seen it.
Washed up on an abandoned island.
Okay, right. Yeah, we're all from different places.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention, in this room there is a hallway at the south wall that keeps going, just so this isn't like a dead end room.
Do these bodies look, you said these were all in different like various stages of like whatever, like decay and just like situations. So it doesn't look fresh. It doesn't smell fresh.
Give me a medicine check. The fact that it does reek indicates that it's not been here for like years or anything.
A medicine?
Yep.
18 plus... Why can't I find medicine? Oh, there it is. 18 plus 1. That is a solid 19.
Yeah, you diagnose the state of decay here, like post-mortem, and you're like... a few weeks. It seems like a few weeks. Between like 2 and 5 weeks, these bodies have been here.
Okay. Well, from my understanding of death, and logically it seems it's only possibly a couple weeks, this could have been a fairly recent summoning attempt, and the fact that you had this before we were just tattooed with this symbol. I don't feel comfortable. Something sketchy and possibly dark is going on, especially if this is written in Infernal in another dark language.
Also, with that kind of check, I forgot to mention that brazier in the middle of the room with a blue flame, that's a magical flame. You see that there's no fuel powering it. It seems like it was a spell that created it. But it seems like it's pretty much just a light source. There's nothing like weird about it.
Yeah.
You said there's black sand on the ground in this like depiction of this shape, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go up and I'm going to like take my hand and like break this circle.
Cool. You cast the sand aside and break the circle.
Alexandria lurches and is like, no!
Oi,
You
you don't want them casting anything else, do you?
What if it was tied to containing something? To we don't know the full extent.
Oi, mate, you
Whatever
gotta,
is
it's
going on, we don't
fine.
understand it yet.
It's alright. You've dealt with these things before.
I think you need to go back home and eat your porridge and go sleep in those beds because this is.
You know, I want to be home. I do, but this is my first chance to really prove myself here. All right, thank you. So I'm going to spend my time proving myself and making sure I keep people protected. All right. That if I left that as a wood, the people could easily have recast their spells.
Okay, well, I'm just saying maybe we shouldn't disrupt things that we don't completely understand yet, especially if it's tied to us.
What's Piri doing
And
right now?
Alexander's gonna look at Piri. Like, no.
She's smirking hard.
Scans.
Yeah, Electra, it's like, again, nauseating to stay in this room. It takes considerable effort just to speak. It's taking strength to not just vomit from the stench.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely unpleasant to the other two of you, but it's not as overpowering to you as it is to Electra.
Right. I don't want anybody coming back and making more of these sacrifices.
Well, until we figure out who is, there's not much we can do about that, is there?
We can make sure they're not casting the spells.
They're gonna cast a spell whether we disrupt it or not. Who's gonna say that they're not just gonna come in and...
Then might as well disrupt it while we're here.
But it's tied to us! Okay, we are wasting time. There is a hallway. The scent is so annoying, and I think we should keep going.
All right.
The ash, or the circle of ash, is it intact?
Aside from where Electra broke the circle, yes, and it's not. You notice it isn't ash. It's it is the material. It's like sand, but it's black sand. And you recall that. Actually, you're not sure if it's related or the same sand, but you have had a brush with black sand recently, as most of the sand on that island you had washed up on was black sand.
Oh yeah. Can I just move, cause more of a disturbance in the circle
Sure.
while they were arguing?
Yeah. Nothing really happens as you mess up the circle. Nothing that you can tell anyway.
Okay. This brazier, is the fire hot?
No,
close.
it's not emanating any heat, but it is emanating light and acts like flame.
So if I put my hand in it, it would burn.
You're not sure. You think personally, having the relationship with fire that you do, you could put your hand through a candle and it wouldn't really bother you a whole lot unless you held it there for too long. But it's not emanating heat, so it seems almost like an illusion sort of magic, a mix of conjuration and illusion. So it conjured an illusory flame
Okay.
Yeah.
How heavy does this brazier look?
About 15 pounds, like a little metal brazier.
Oh, so I could just yoink it over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like rituals very much. I'm gonna yoink it over.
You
Pissing me off.
yoink it over and the flame goes out and the room is cast in darkness again, aside from the fire in your hand.
Yeah.
What did you do? Why did you do that?
This isn't good. So I put a stop to it.
We should leave.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yep.
I didn't plan
Okay,
it.
let's go.
Electra's running.
Like now.
I
Electra.
wasn't gonna do that.
Okay, Alexandria's taking off, but carefully. Not as like blind like.
And Piri, how are you taking off? Blindly or carefully? I guess, which is a descriptor we have now.
She's just like maybe speed walking.
Cool.
With the flame in her hand.
As you're going, everybody give me perception checks. Electra, yours with disadvantage because you just tore off.
Yeah. As soon as that happens, she's like, "Oh no."
That is a nat 20 plus.
Okay.
You say perception plus 3, which is a 23. I'm like, that's like
Your perception rolls today, insane.
I know. I don't know what I did,
I got
but
an 8.
Okay.
I got 15.
15. Piri and Alexandria, as you begin walking towards this hallway, that is ahead, it is dark. Electra, did you cast light or something on yourself, right? So you got some light going.
Yeah,
I hear anything, Electra, or catch anything, perception. But before you enter this next room, I mean, you enter the room without catching this, but Alexandria and Piri, before you enter the room, as Electra tears off, you hear a rhythmic, like, thudding against stone, and you hear like a drawn rattly and like a clicking of like teeth. And you round the corner and Electra, to your dismay, you do not see rats, you see two withered corpses standing upright with leather-like skin stretched across bone. One thuds its head rhythmically against a wall, while another lays motionless at the foot of the stairs, drawing in raspy breaths. Roll initiative.
Dirty 20.
Very nice.
12.
Okay.
I just got 12 too, but
Okay.
plus 1 so 13. My initiative.
Gotcha. Okay, Electra, you're up first. You round the corner, and from the light you've cast on yourself, you illuminate these one corpse standing upright. Maybe you've encountered a corpse that is undead before?
Maybe, but yeah,
it's not
probably
good to see this.
encountered
This is very
undead,
bad.
but no.
This is not.
Ooh. Okay. Let me think.
And as you sprint into the room, one sits up from the ground and looks at you. The other one stops, thudding its head against the wall, and turns and faces you.
Ew, what a weirdo. Alright, Sacred Flame on the one that is standing. Alright. That is, a dex save from them.
Gotcha. Okay. I doubt it will pass. Oh, that was out of my tray.
Let's hope.
It's not gonna pass.
Oh, good. Alright, that is gonna be 4 radiant damage.
Okay.
As I just look and I'm like, yeah, and it just
you
up around them.
Send up some radiant flame that licks it. It doesn't make any expression related to this, but it did do some damage. Alexandria, you are up and you are standing behind Piri in the, or not Piri, Electra in this narrow hallway that Electra's sort of at like where the room opens up. You're behind her in this like 5-foot hallway.
Okay. How far away is the closest?
From the closest, you can't actually see it from where you are yet. You'd have to like step up to like past Electra to be able to see it because you're like too far back in the hallway. You can hear it, you know it's there. But if you were to step past Electra, it would be 10 feet away from you, the closest one.
Would it be possible? So I know there's like some bad, something sketchy, right? Would it be possible to kind of like do like a pivot move where like I like kind of like whip, like go off the wall, kick into this room, like as my movement, right?
Sure, give me an acrobatics check
Like I
to
kind of like
go through Electra's space.
that is a 17 plus 1. That is an 18. Kind of like
Cool.
jump ahead into this room.
You don't just like kick off the wall because you can like cling to even like flat surfaces. You like spider jump on the wall and then leap off of it in front of Electra into this room. And you see this withered corpse that is turned to face you. This is 10 feet away.
So with this, as I'm doing this, I imagine pulling out my rapier and just getting
Are you gonna close up to 5 feet to get a stab in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also because I just like whipped out into this room, like literally like just like dropped into here, would I get my sneak attack? Because I just like came out of nowhere.
No, because you're already in initiative, so we're not in like a surprise round or anything, and I don't think you have anything that would give you initiative or advantage on this for sneak attack.
Right.
I will just roll to hit. Oh, that is 16 plus 3, 19 to hit.
Big hits.
Okay, and that is 6 plus 1, so that is 7 damage.
Cool. You lunge out with your rapier and pull it back. You pierce right through the chest of the thing and pull it back. It's still standing. You stabbed right through it. I'm not sure if you, like, that's up to you if your characters have dealt with undead before, but pierced right through this corpse and pulled it back out. Still standing, but damaged. It took all that damage. That's gonna be actually the other corpse at the far end of the room. It stands up and then so it uses half of its movement to stand up and then moves 10 feet closer to Alexandria, and that's all it does. Puri, you're up.
Perfect. How far away am I from this thing?
So from the closest one, you'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You'd be about 25 feet to get within melee range, but I think passing through another creature's occupied space counts as difficult terrain, which is 10 feet instead of 5.
I don't think it does if you're allies. I think if
cool.
you're
so that's right. That
not.
makes more sense. Okay, so yeah, you can pass through Electra without like a movement penalty. We'll just go with that ruling for now.
Okay.
Haha, we're not allies yet. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not allies. I don't like you.
So yeah, you could get within melee range.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that. I'm just charging right past my ally, squeeze by with my
Cool.
warhammer.
You could get on the Alexandria's right side, which would mean the other zombie would be on your left flank, or you could get on Alexandria's right side and essentially you'd have the zombie in front of you, Alexandria on your right, and the other zombie wouldn't be able to reach you.
I'll do that option.
Okay. You nuzzle back between Alexandria and this corpse and go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
Get your crusty, dusty arse out of here and... nat 20.
What is this, vicious mockery?
Nice. Loving that 20 in the first combat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running. I'm tired of these. I'm already done.
Oh yeah, I guess
And
Puri
I'm
did
just
see some zombies earlier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that is 15 damage, bludgeoning.
Ooh. Yeah, you crack this thing real good. If it was a person, it would be very displeased with every single bone in its torso being obliterated. But alas, it is not a living person, but looks... The unlife that is keeping it unalive is barely there anymore. It is now that zombie's turn and is going to take a swing at Puri. That is a 14 to hit, and that is not going to hit you. Electra, you're up.
Alright. Okay, well, I'm going to move further into the room. And Sorry, so the two are still alive? Or did one die?
The two are still alive, but one looks like
Two are still alive.
messed up.
Okay.
That's the one that Puri is on.
And Alexandria.
Okay, then in that case, okay, fair enough. I'm going to move up, straight up to the other one.
Okay.
Like, really engage, and
Melee?
I'm going to,
Gotcha.
yeah, bring out my Warhammer and give him a good smack.
I'm gonna smack.
Good smack. Let's try, though. That's a 14 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. I really thought that one was gonna not hit. Well, that 2 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 on my damage dice.
You thud into it, where Puri had just, like, clocked it, but, it's still standing. Alexandria, that is your turn.
Oh, I was going to the one that they weren't on.
Oh, the one that they weren't on?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, to let them deal with that guy and I would deal with the other guy.
Okay, you deal 2 damage to that one. Cool. Alexandria,
Yeah.
it is your turn.
Very minimal.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to the one that Puri and I are near
Yeah,
and just try to whack it again with my
cool.
spear. 18 plus 3 is 21 to hit.
That'll do.
Then 4 plus 1 is, that's only 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay. Cool. And this was the rapier?
Yes.
You pierce it through the head and it drops to the ground lifeless yet again. This other corpse is gonna swing on Electra.
Oh, thanks, mate.
That's gonna hit. Your AC is 10 right now, correct? Because you don't have your shield out.
Me? No, it's 15.
Oh, that's right. I have the default. I never got your AC there. Okay. Okay, that's still gonna hit though.
Yeah.
All right. Lucky for you, these guys don't hit super hard. That's gonna be. Oh, I rolled the wrong die. Okay. You take 2 bludgeoning damage. He gives you that 2 right back.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, as my reaction, I need him to make a dex save.
Ooh, okay. Got a 6.
Alright, perfect. That's what I like. So then as he hits me, and I take the damage, he's gonna take 10 lightning damage as his, like, weapon makes contact with me, and lightning just goes flying through my body, and his arm. It goes flying from that point of touch into his body and just, like, fries him. Like, steam coming up from everywhere, and I'm just yeah, mate, might not want to touch me next time.
Slams his arm into your shoulder, and just electricity jolts through his entire body as it goes rigid for a moment, and like briefly spasms as its like flesh chars with electricity. Puri, you're up. You can definitely get to this other one.
Oh, I'm doing that. I'm running. Actually, wait. So I can just squeeze past. I'm actually just gonna like.
You're in a wider room now. You're not in a hallway,
Wider
to where you can approach this one.
Okay, then yeah, I'm gonna saunter up to this thing and smash it in the face, or I will try at least.
Yeah.
14.
That'll hit.
Cooliosis. 8 damage. Bludgeoning.
Very nice. You clock this thing real good. Thuds right into with a sickening smack. Electra, you're up again.
Oh, sorry. For some reason I heard Alexandria in my head, even though you said Electra. Alright, so then on that one, I'm gonna take my Warhammer and try and go right for the chin. Under the chin,
Go
knock
for
his
it.
head back. I think that would be funny. That's okay. That's a 12.
That hits.
Oh! Look at that
not,
lucky.
not a very high AC for corpses.
Alright, this one will do 9 bludgeoning. As I want to, like, get right up
Okay.
under his chin and knock his head back.
Alright. Ooh, lucky. Yeah, you uppercut with this warhammer and the head comes clean off and thuds sickeningly to the floor nearby. And we are now out of combat and you stand in this room where you've just cut down 2 living corpses.
Just gonna put her Warhammer back and say, Oi! Alright, moving on.
What was this? What just happened?
Well, it looks like our friends who cast some bad spells have some more friends.
Gross, disgusting zombies.
Fix. Well, I reckon we keep moving because I don't want to be down here when more things come to life.
Agreed.
Right.
Cool. So this room does continue out. There is a door at the opposite side of this room. But looking around this room before you head up, you do see like there's like a floral rug on the floor. It's not that interesting, but on the wall that this one corpse was stunning its head against is this very detailed mural, and it depicts at the far left. Towards where you came from, there's a lion-headed being holding a blade pointing down farther to the right. And you see beneath this figure, there's lots of smaller humanoid figures that look like they're all uniform and like their design just looks like to represent people, are marching down towards this center area where there is a large jackal-headed figure who sits atop a throne. Beneath this painted figure, the parade, I guess, of people or like march continues on towards the end of the mural at the right end of the room, and you see these figures that were like uniform walking are now portrayed in positions of like worship and reverence. And there is a large bull-headed figure that holds a scale in one hand and a tome in another. And beneath the bull, you see this confusing geometric pattern, like that sort of looks like waves, but they're jagged. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. But above it, there's a circle with a lot of really small triangles in it that face inward. And farthest to the right behind the bull, there is a painted sun, and beneath it, there's a depicted field of reeds that look like they've been painted as if they were flowing in the wind. This seems to depict what this religion believes is like the course of the afterlife. So yeah, that's what you see on this mural. And there is a door that is at the opposite way that you came in.
Electra will sort of like have a bow to each of them and just like, showing her respect.
Yeah.
Maybe leave, like she'll probably take like a feather out and like leave a feather somewhere. Is there like any sort of like, I don't know, I don't want to say shrine or just like thing where people have put things as an offering?
There are
that she could add like a feather to.
There's like little urns with incense in them that are like beneath the wall, and like a couple little stools with like candles.
Put it somewhere like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So you approach the door, it's unlocked, and before you see a set of stairs leading up.
I think it's locked.
It is not locked, actually. The door's open.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thaumaturgy, it flies open.
Alexandria
slides open.
Yeah, Alexandria is just gonna kind of push past Electra to take a look at this like staircase, I think. Just see what's up.
Cool. You see a dark staircase that heads up.
Does it look sketchy? Like,
no, it just looks
like
stairs.
Okay. Shall we?
I'm just gonna walk up the steps.
Walk up the steps, and as you do, you smell the air, and it smells a lot like it's still musty and like underground smell, but you swear you smell the faintest hint of fresh air, the faintest hint. And as you step up into the room that is before you, you see a figure standing in the middle of the room who is extremely thin, not only extremely thin, but without flesh and skin, just bones, standing upright. We're back in combat.
Getting thin. Oh, God.
Oh, lovely.
Are we rolling new initiatives or keeping the old one?
We can roll new ones. I didn't save your old ones.
Oh,
okay.
Electra got 15.
Very nice.
I got a 3.
Okay.
Sexy.
Alexandria. Yeah.
I have a 15.
Very nice. Puri, Electra, do you want to determine who goes first?
What's your dex modifier?
My dex modifier is 1.
Oh, same. Alright, roll off. I got a 13.
I got a natural 1.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going first.
Cool. Alright. You are all in this room here. Puri, you've entered the room. Electra, I'm just gonna assume for brevity that you're all in this room. You see past the skeleton that's standing in the middle of the room. You see there's another larger room behind it, and then stairs to the left that go up farther. In this farther room, you see like a couple rows of sarcophagi lined, and you see 2 other skeletons in there that snap their heads in your direction, and one of them walks out into the middle of this room he's standing in like the doorway of it essentially, and with a short bow draws it and fires on Puri. That is that's not gonna hit. You deflect the arrow with your shield. Electra, you're up.
What the hell, man?
I'm gonna Sacred Flame the one that just hit Puri. Is it within 60 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then that's fine. It works. So that's gonna be... Oh, nope, never mind. It's a 6.
Make that dex save.
Oh, it is a dex save. My bad. Yeah, I need it to do dex save.
Jeez,
I rolled to hit and rolled a 6, but I guess I didn't have to do that.
It fails its dex save.
Oh, okay, cool. So my failure didn't matter. Haha.
No.
That is going to be 3 radiant damage on that one.
Cool. Radiant damage alights this skeleton briefly, singeing its bones, but it still stands. Fury, you're up. Closest skeleton in the room you are.
As my bonus action, yep. I'm casting Healing Word on myself, by the way.
Okay, cool.
You know.
I assume you can get up to, I guess, roll for it. You could roll a 1, right?
Okay, yeah. That's going to be 4, so I'm back up to 9.
You're good. Yeah, Fury, closest one is like 10 feet away from you.
Oh yeah, I'm going up to this thing. I'm gonna break its bone.
You run right up to it.
I aim for the head.
You aim for the head. That hits.
7 damage.
You crash down on the head of this thing, and the whole skeleton just collapses into a pile as you reduce it to dust. Immediately destroyed. This other skeleton...
Good going, mate!
The last skeleton you see steps out from this back room, walks up behind the other skeleton in the doorway, and takes a shot at Electra. That'll hit.
Good lord.
Oof, God. That is 8 piercing damage.
Oh, good thing I
Yeah, no kidding.
a healing word.
Alexandria, it is your turn.
So I imagine that I'm not like right up close into this. What's happening? Is
about the closest one is about 5, 10, 15, 15 feet away from you.
Okay. So kind of this like more back position. I think I'm gonna whip out my short bow and not move from where I am. But if I have to like take a step or something so that I can aim,
you gotta
I'll go ahead and do that. And I just want to shoot at the one that just hit Electra, but that's like kind of like on.
Okay, so in the doorway there's the first skeleton that Electra originally hit, then behind that skeleton is the one that just shot at Electra. So you could target either one.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do the closer, the first one, I think.
Gotcha.
Then, actually, yeah.
100%.
18 plus 3, that is
That'll
21 to hit. Oh my
time.
God, I don't know how I'm doing so good on that. Okay, this is a 6. And that is a 3 plus 1, and that is a 4.
Okay, yeah.
4 damage.
4 damage?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, I know I already asked this, and like it's probably not gonna work, but because they're like so focused, and I'm just like far back, I don't know if this would work because this one like would probably see me, but would I get a sneak attack at all because it's a surprise? Like they don't see me, they don't expect me.
If you would have like snuck into the room, maybe, but again, you gotta have that like advantage modifier to get a sneak attack. Cool. So you knock an arrow right into the skull of this thing, and like half the skull crumbles to dust. It is now that same skeleton's turn, and he's going to step into the room and off to the side a bit behind that skeleton that, well, the remains of the skeleton appear just crushed to dust. Is going to take a shot at Alexandria. That is a 10 to hit, which does not hit you. You duck out of the way. Electra, it is your turn.
Alright, I am Sacred Flaming this guy again. Dex save.
Gotcha. Nope.
Perfect, that's what I like to hear. Oh, well, 1 radiant damage.
1.
I'm just not feeling so good. I'm just like...
as you're casting these divine spells, You notice, like, briefly, you don't have time to consider it because of the active peril to your life, but you don't feel any connection to honor while you're casting these spells. Puri, you are...
I'm gonna, like, crawl with my movement. I'm, like, kind of, like, moving and crawling to, like, maybe behind a sarcophagus or something, just to be like...
There is cover in this room, so, like, there's, like, 5 feet to the left. There is a table that you could, like, overturn and get, like, full cover. Cool.
I'm gonna try and get somehow behind something.
Cool, you crawl to your left behind a table, you get full cover. Puri, it's your turn.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go run for another one.
Gotcha. You run right on up to the other one that just shot Alexandria.
Shooting is bad. You need to die. The same roll, 21.
That'll hit.
Epic. And less damage, 5.
Okay.
Bludgeoning.
You still crack this thing real good. Even, like, you're, like... the way you hit it, you didn't think you hit it that hard, but it looks like it took damage, like more damage than you thought that swing would have elicited. That skeleton that you just hit tosses his short bow down, draws a short sword, and makes a lunge at you. That's a 12 to hit. I don't think that comes close.
No.
Cool. Alexandria, it is back to you.
Okay. What's the closest one to me?
Closest one in, like, for melee would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away where Puri is fighting. The one that's in the other room is about 35 feet away.
Would I be able to try to knock a bow into the further one that's just starting to come into the room?
You can definitely, like, step into the center of the room a bit and line up a shot, because it's, like, through a doorway that you can sort of see it. Cool.
Yes, I will do that.
Take a
it's
range shot.
11 plus 3, so it's 14. Does that hit?
That hits.
Knocking it
Just
out.
barely.
That is 5 plus 1, that is 6 damage.
Cool. You fully knock the skull off this thing. The skeleton is still standing, but it's like barely there. Cool. That is the skeleton that Puri was fighting. Gonna take another swing on Puri. That will hit. Okay. Puri, you take 6 slashing damage.
Ow.
Electra, you're up.
Alright. Say your flame! Again!
Which one? The ones Puri's fighting, or?
The one that's
They
in
both
the
look
distance.
on the... Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't want to do it too close to Puri, but I'm gonna, like,
Does not save.
grab. All you see is this, like, one hand, like, grab the top of the table, and then the other, and then you see her, like, she's, like, on 1 hit point, and she just goes, ah! And she's gonna cast Sacred Flame on this
yeah,
one
it failed its
way
step
off.
save, so you can roll your damage.
Okay, thank God. Alright, that's 3 radiant damage.
Cool. Sacred Flame erupts from the ground, and the skeleton turns to dust.
Oh, and then she's just gonna collapse behind the table
Puri,
again.
you're up. The skeleton just stabbed you.
Yeah, I'm not very happy with that. I'm gonna strike its chest cavity.
Go for it.
Bash it right in the face with a 14.
That hits.
That 6 damage.
Cool. You smack right in the core of this thing, and the bones scatter to the ground and fall apart. And we're out of combat. Now I will let you do whatever you want to do real quick, and then I'll describe the room you're in. So if there was any like actions or
going
like
to-
healing things you wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my healing hands on myself and give myself 1 hit point.
Cool. So you're in this room. It looks like this room is like the resting room where like you can assume that like people would come to like rest from their journey, that they've come to like pay respects to these people that are buried here. Then like head farther down for like where there's the more religious stuff. So there's nothing really of like big interest in this room that catches your eye. There's like a tattered rug, some clay pots, an urn. The one thing that you assume that like there would be anything of interest possible would be in the back room where there are 6 sarcophagi in like rows. And you see that like 5 of them are open. That are like, it looks like these corpses climbed out of, and these skeletons. And 1 is closed. So yeah. And then there are also stairs that lead up. To which at the top of the
Electra is
stairs, you
probably
can
just like
see
sitting
light.
and like staring at her hands and like trying to like make them like spark and like have electricity, and she's just like sitting there. It's finally like setting in that she's like, wait, like I don't feel those like that presence. Like I don't. It's not really here right now. So she's just kind of sitting behind this table. She's just like staring at her hands, which
Yeah.
looks really weird to everyone else.
It'd be like
Yeah.
if you picked up a guitar and like strummed it and like played a song on it, but like it wasn't the same guitar that you've played on like your whole life. Like it's working, it's a
Mhm.
guitar, music is coming out, but this isn't mine.
Are you good, mate?
Yeah, Goldilocks, yeah. You still there?
Yeah. Yep.
Should we get moving?
Yep.
You gonna stop doing whatever concentration thingy
Yeah.
you were doing and
What seems to be the issue here? Is that some wizard thing? Or whatever you are?
Yep.
Good to know. Alright, let's get moving.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then she'll stand up and she'll just follow them. Like
So-
she's just drained at this point.
Are you wanting to head into the room with all the sarcophagi to like check them out and see if you can find anything in there, or are you heading up the stairs?
Alexandra is heading towards the stairs.
Okay. Piri?
I'm gonna go
Stairs?
stairs.
Electra?
What is my gut telling me?
Your gut's telling you that there's a bunch of empty sarcophagi in the other room where like the corpses have climbed out and you have just killed. And you also know that people are buried with things that they liked in life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, grave robbers are a thing, and if
Do I
you
see
look
anything
in
on
there-
the floor?
on the floor? Give me a perception check.
Yeah, I just want to see if, like, as I'm... Because, like, I feel like this would determine... As she's passing by, if she saw something shiny, she would definitely turn and go after
Yeah,
it.
give me a
But if
perception
she
check.
didn't see anything, she would just go up the stairs. So that's going to be a 15.
You see that there is one necklace on the floor. You can see a little piece of jewelry.
Okay, she's going... She's, like, following them, and then she just veers into the room.
Cool.
And just, beelines for the necklace. She's going to look at it, but... To her, she's trying to figure out which sarcophagus it belongs in. She wants to put it
Okay.
back.
Give me an investigation check.
Cool. 21.
Yeah, you can. There's like
Maybe it's
one-
like right next to one.
Yeah,
of
it's like
them.
right next to one. So you like look at it on the ground, look in the coffin that's like empty, and you're like, oh yeah.
Well, there we go. And then she can put it right. Is there a skeleton in there, or was the
there's-
skeleton gone?
no. It's one of the things that climbed down and just tried to kill you guys.
Got it. Cool. Well, she's gonna put it back.
Mhm.
Say, oh, right. Well then. And then now that she's in this room, she's gonna look around.
Cool. Give me a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. What you notice in this room is that on the northern wall in this room, there's a mural depicting a jackal-headed person holding a skull aloft. But again, like you have met Osiris and stuff, this doesn't look like how Osiris is ever been depicted, but it is still a jackal. Also, you look around the room and you like see that there is jewelry in pretty much all of these sarcophagi that would be of some worth in gold.
Nope, she's not going to touch it.
Cool. And that's all you find in this room.
He is going to sort of like bow her head at the one sarcophagus that wasn't opened, and then she's going to go.
You gave me a perception check, didn't you?
Stairs. Yeah.
Like, with that like 20 or whatever you got, you hear like thudding inside the other sarcophagus. You also hear that same rasp. It's like there's fully a zombie in there, but couldn't get out, so it's still just in there, just like being a zombie.
God, what do I do? She's gonna be like, guys, and she's gonna go up to the sarcophagus. This is before she like prayed or vowed. And she's gonna be like, it's okay, go to sleep, it's okay,
like,
it's okay, go to sleep, go back to sleep, just go back to sleep.
Just a full-on like, zombie sounds.
There's something in this one!
Okay, just come, let's just leave it, let's go!
Okay, but what if it follows us?
It doesn't seem like it can get out.
Go to sleep, buddy, go to sleep. Okay, alright, okay, so sorry, good night! And she's gonna run and scamper.
So,
I'm so sorry!
You walk up the stairs and you step into like a little empty room, and there's nothing there, but there is a door, like a thin wooden door that's kind of rackety, and from underneath it you can see sand spilling into the room and light through the cracks. And it feels a lot warmer up here in this room.
Be my guest.
Who's opening the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll open the door.
Puri, you step up. You step up and
I'm just like,
open.
go ahead, and then Alexandria's like,
I'm not gonna do it.
Harry's just
You
goes over the door.
Step up, put your hand on the door, and push it open. And sunlight blares in through the room, and you are blasted by a wave of heat. Alexandra, you've never even seen the sun before, firstly. Secondly, after your eyes adjust to the brightness and the heat, you look out and you just see a sprawling desert that goes on and on and on until there's a wall of mountains far in the distance. And you just see dunes and dunes of sand and no sign of civilization. And that is where we will end today's session.
No.